All right,
Yeah.
we're here today to do post-traumatic slave syndrome and a host of other things that he's going to touch on. That's the first question.
Yeah. All right, Black.
In the past weeks,
Uh-huh.
on the table, they've been talking about if the black man could be the devil, right? And they said that he can only be the devil's advocate. So I want to know your take on it.
It said now what again now?
Yeah. They've been arguing about, can the black man be the devil?
Uh-huh.
And they said, no, he can't because he can only be his advocate.
He can only be the devil's advocate because after being stripped of a thorough knowledge of self, he's going to act like his slave master.
Right, yeah.
So he can be the devil's advocate. That's not saying the black man won't do no evil.
Right. So basically that means that by nature he's trained. He might be trained that way by nature. You can train a cat, you see what I'm saying, to swim and and a dog to climb a tree. It don't necessarily mean it's the original origin of the nature. So, that particular concept and all, for the mere fact that we have been here for almost 400 years and still haven't committed the atrocities against the European as they did for us, let us know in actuality that even in our most deepest subconscious mind, we behave different. You see, yeah. So that's one aspect of that. Yeah. Give me some questions. Glad to be back here in Harlem.
I have a question.
Yes, sir, brother.
Yeah.
Considering the topic of being a post-traumatic slave syndrome, what would be the symptoms that we can see in our people on the outright as far as that traumatizing effect upon our people?
Or what we can basically see. I mean, you could just, naturally behavior, appearance. I mean, it could be, take for instance, they had this guy that broke in this house last week broke in this house in a black guy, young guy, 24 years old, that went to this white woman, and I think she was 95 years old, and he asked her for some water, and then raped her repeatedly, cooked some dinner, and all of that. Now, anybody know anything about rape? Rape has a lot to do with power. So after they commit that act, they don't necessarily enjoy it as much more than they do the actual power. But for the mere fact that this guy raped her repeatedly, that means that he was actually turned on. So we've gone down to that particular level of psychological conditioning where you could have these types of things that's going on. I mean, a 95-year-old woman, black or white, I mean, how can you even get turned on? So obviously you're still talking about a form of post-traumatic syndrome, slavery syndrome that would create this type of monster to do something like that now, and basically it's, the more and more the society gets that we don't have certain cultural laws to guide us, these things happen. Let me give you an example about cultural laws. We're not necessarily talking about the African laws, but we had certain things set up prior to post-slavery. We had certain laws and certain cultural things that we had put together post-slavery, mainly out of segregation, that in so many words, it was a cohesiveness that taught us how to behave. Things that happen, but we talking about 30 years, going there almost 40 years prior to, desegregation, and now these laws are actually breaking down. These cohesive laws that we used to have, not written laws, but certain things we just didn't do based on certain things in the community that was set up that way. Now we're talking about 40 years prior. Those cohesive laws are breaking down every day. We're losing more and more people based on those particular laws. So therefore you would have this type of niggers gone wild. That's right. If you want to say some stuff like that now. We had that. But then, so what we're talking about here is, it goes into the same thing about assimilation. Whereas you would have W.E.B. Du Bois said, well, you know, we're trying to integrate, but what are we integrating into?
That's right.
You know, this is right before he died, when he really, you know, saw what was going on after years of even thinking that that was a part of it himself, that it's supposed to be this assimilation. But see, what happens here is we are the only people that assimilate. So we're still talking that particular post-traumatic, post-slavery traumatic syndrome, but as we go on and on, those particular things that we had set in place was cohesive. Let me give you an example. In the 1970s, it was common for the European, if they wanted to get a certain platform to pass or to be looked on as legitimate, they would make sure that they would get the black community in it. Because we set the moral standard in America at a certain time. They knew that, you know, certain black people gonna do a certain thing with a certain behavior. So that's how powerful our pre-slavery behavioral pattern was, based on segregation. So they understood if we wait about 30 to 40 years with you doing what you want to do, that all that cohesive behavior that was standard of great common sense behavior would erode. And as a result, you got just straight up the animal level that is going on this particular, you know. And so in so many words, what we had as in the particular aspect from 1865 to 1975 was our actual culture. And it was a culture that was birthed out of segregation, but we had a cohesiveness that worked for us. You see, so all of this type of thing, you see, they knew if they was to so-called have us to assimilate, we would be left with nothing. Because all that is eroding. You see what I'm saying? We can notice this now about little children, 2 and 3 years old, that would do certain things that we think is cute, that in my day would violate 4,000 ass whipping codes.
That's right. That's right.
And we think it's cute now. It is nothing now to say to take a little child and they draw back their hand. They could be in the mother, can't even walk, and I've seen them raise back their hand at a grown person. I've seen this happen. And we think these things are cute, so we're giving way to more things that we think is cute and all, is breeding the pathology into these monsters that we're looking at, and this starting from a young child. Whereas in our day, we had strict codes and stuff that you couldn't do certain things, and these things now, we think it's cute. You know what I'm saying? So we can see these types of things that's happening, and this is all a part of the erosion of our cohesive behavioral system that we had put together. Give me some questions right quick.
I have a question. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said you can tell the condition of a people by its women.
Right.
Elaborate more on that.
Well, let me give you an example. What they also mean. Despite the father figure, which the European society focus on, it's all about the father. So they will tell you that in actuality, if the father's not around, you're going to have all these problems. But in actuality, anybody knows, based on matriarchy, that it's based on the sister. The sister is the most powerful aspect when it comes to the children, and the particular aspect is 90% of most people that have certain problems, you can trace that particular aspect you can trace it all the way back to the mother. And even in the society, when they have done, even in the white culture, when they have done studies on mass murderers, most of those mass murderers that they have done studies on, they had some type of breakdown in the family based on the mother. You see what I'm saying? So therefore, we know that this has a lot to do with when Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, no nation can rise as high as his woman. You see what I'm saying? And if she is oppressed on a certain level, then you're going to have a certain amount of aspect of a society going crazy, you know, because in one type of way, desegregation breaks down that matriarchal culture that we did have in a particular aspect. So, you know, it has a lot to do with everything. We'll go back and we'll elaborate on that in a more. Yeah.
Dealing with the post-traumatic slave syndrome dealing, how does that tie into the pimp game and the prostitution?
The pimp game.
Pimp game and prostitution.
Yeah. Basically, those are structures that actually you would have a certain amount of things that would come out of that post-traumatic slavery syndrome, and that is one of the examples of those particular things that actually came out of that. In that particular aspect. It's just, I mean, it's just thousands of things. It's thousands of things that come out of that same aspect, and that's just one of them. You know, that's just one of them on that particular aspect. But now we're glorifying it.
For sure.
We're glorifying it. Like they even had a special on TV, whereas half the rappers and stuff is glorifying this particular aspect of the whole pimp gang thing. You see what I'm saying?
The real man goes out and he makes his own money.
You see, but we also too, we know that they are promoting cultures to breed a brother getting locked down. That's the mystery, because we do know that in actuality, just like in Texas, they have locked up so many brothers in Texas until now they're starting to lock up the sisters. Why is this? Because we're talking about billion-dollar industries based on that and all, you see. So that would have something to do with it. Give me some questions.
Questions, anybody?
Yeah.
Based on all the integration going on, how can you tell if someone has a soul?
Like the white man or anybody?
Yeah, like anybody.
I don't even think that's really important in any particular aspect, because you really can't. I mean, the behavior is so bad on the earth plane now, until in actuality, we could all lump it into the one aspect, but we do know that in the long run, there will be a great separation. Like, take for instance, they just had this movie, Fahrenheit 9/11 just came. Anybody saw the movie?
Yes, sir.
Now, on one hand, we know that if Michael Moore, if the government didn't want him to put the movie out, he wouldn't have put it out.
That's right.
He would have been bumped off a long time, but they'd have killed him when they're making it. But that's the first aspect. But let's look at this. For the mere fact that he's even forced to put out that movie, we're looking at a major change. We're looking at something that behind the scenes is going on, where the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, you will know the end when there's infighting amongst the elite. So for the mere fact that they got this infighting going on, there's something major happening. You see what I'm saying? Like how some of those soldiers might not ever come out of Iraq. Now they just so-called handed over reins to the government, 2 weeks ago, they gave them this thing back. But Wednesday or Thursday, they killed a governor of Mogul, a certain province of Mogul, and all. That's real major. So what you're talking about here, you're talking about them biting off more than they can handle. Now, 90% of the armed forces is either in Afghanistan or Iraq. You see? Even in Afghanistan or Iraq, that's major. 90% of the forces. And they're still over there, and they're saying that they might have to be over there for 4 years. So you're still talking about the beginning of a breakdown of a so-called country that they didn't learn from Vietnam. It doesn't matter about how much might you say you might have. You just can't go up in everybody's countries and have victory. As a matter of fact, they haven't won anything basically this century. The first 2 wars were family fights, but they lost Korea. They lost Vietnam. They didn't win Japan. They had to drop a bomb on them. You see what I'm saying? So for the mere fact that they make this propaganda and tell you they won, doesn't necessarily mean they won. So in so many words, they didn't learn from the mistakes that you can't win wars because there's something greater that goes on. You see what I'm saying? That goes on, and they can't do this. So therefore, we talk about the ending of a society where they might not be able to even come out of Iraq, period.
That's right.
And that's major. You see, that's major. You see, so it's a lot of things, but still yet, Despite that, this thing is still, don't let nobody fool you. This thing is still about us in this country.
That's right.
That's the great mystery. Like take for instance, how is it that them, when you see dialysis, they got thousands of black people on dialysis now. You go to a dialysis thing, it's like a football field. The mystery here is that they are actually shutting down the kidneys when people go to the hospital. They have the type of technology to go in and shut down your kidneys. This is long before you even have kidney problems. You see what I'm saying? They are actually shutting down the kidneys because this big business in dialysis.
That is the same thing with the asthma thing about our young children with the
Yeah,
asthma.
all of this. Not only that too, they're talking about 50% of kids the age of 10, 11, and 12 with high blood pressure.
Look at that. High blood pressure. You talking about asthma?
High blood pressure at age 10.
Yeah, but they don't play no ball. They don't do nothing.
And all, but my point here is even if they never did, it never did. The whole concept of, and this is all black kids.
Right,
Hell, this is all black kids.
We got child
You see what I'm
asthma
saying?
that's
The white kids ain't getting it. Hell, they sitting in front of a computer screen. They're not coming down with it.
the roaches and
You see what I'm saying? They're not coming down with it. You see, we talking about 50% of high blood pressure with a child 10. You see, you got to ask yourself these questions. Now, when I was growing up, only way you got diabetes, you was born with it. Then all of a sudden in the 1980s, you started getting it by being overweight. Well, what about the people? So you see what I'm saying? This type 2 diabetes. This is all ingested. This is all an inception. This is all orchestrated. You see, we're talking about designer disease or designer malfunctions. What's that, brother? Designer malfunctions. Give me some more questions right quick.
Any more questions? Anybody?
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
I ain't got no questions, more statement. I'm just glad to see you, man, because I ain't
Yeah.
seen you in like 15, 16
Yeah,
years.
yeah, man, yeah.
Down in AUC.
Yeah, right, brother.
You know, I just got to say about the brother, man. He just read the newspaper, read a couple of magazines last week and decided he's going to get out here and do it. You know, as long as I've been doing it. 20 years, 18 years now.
Yeah.
He's dropping out trying to educate himself.
Yeah, it's all good.
Came down to the AUC, Morehouse, and
Yeah,
stuff.
okay, yeah, yes.
He kept us on track in terms of
Yeah.
what we really down there for and what we really need to be out there trying
Yeah,
to
this is one of the brothers from back in the day, yeah.
So I'm glad to see you, man.
Yeah, it's good, man. Yeah. It's good, yeah.
Anybody else have a question?
Yeah, what's that? Well, number one, Dick Gregory said something. That the asthma is coming from dehydration. Most of this is we don't get enough water. Now, melanin and water goes together, you know, in the alchemical aspect. That's why most of our civilizations birth through some type of waterways, some type of rivers. Water and melanin goes. So a lot of the time and Dick Gregory talked about this, that most of the asthma we're talking about is based on dehydration. Now then you got to ask this particular question here. 90% of processed foods dehydrate you.
well, that's sodium.
Which is sodium. You see what I'm saying? Dehydrate you. Even in stuff that's not salty, this got salt in it. Even some sugar products.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So we're talking about basic, that's this basic diet, that it's dehydration. You see what I'm saying? We don't get enough water. One of the concepts, we don't get enough water. You see, let me give you some other examples. The book, The Matrix, the big thick books that came out, in the early 90s, Val Valerian. And this is something that happened to me recently. They said in those books that you think the TV sets are bad now, and this was 10 years ago. They said wait until the 1990s come, no, they wait until the 2000 come, what they're going to put in the TV sets are going to be devastating. Now, around 1998, 99, they came out with high definition TV. Right. Now, that technology now is going down to just a regular, any TV you get is that high definition past 2000. What this thing does is this. It scrambles the brain. These TVs are directly designed to attack the pineal pituitary gland. You see what I'm saying? So we're talking about that type of technology. A brother came from Philadelphia, a good friend of mine, bought me a widescreen TV. Said, nah, man, you got to get rid of this 19-inch. Bought me a widescreen TV, and within a week of watching it, my left eye started getting red. One day I can see, one day I can't out of the eye. I'm saying, wait, hold on. If my sight is going bad, number one, it wouldn't go bad in one eye, and number one, why is it good one day and I can't see the next day? It had nothing to do with my eyes. It has something to do with the scrambling of the pineal gland and pituitary gland, which is connected, you see what I'm saying, to sight. So in actuality, it was an inner aspect that was going on. And so the high definition TV, that's why right now, if you got any TVs from 2000 on up, never watch them in the dark. That's right. And make sure there's a certain amount of light in the room. And based on how wide the screen is, if it's a big screen, make sure that you got a certain amount of length between you and where you're sitting and that actual TV, because this is war against the pineal technology. And so what this is doing here is keeping people still in a zombified state. Now let me give you another example. A brother, and some of you might have heard this on the tapes, that in the mid-1990s, brother went to McDonald's and bought a McDonald's fish sandwich. And he noticed that his lip became numb, his tongue became numb when he bought the McDonald's fish sandwich. And he understood that it was the same equivalence to when you take cocaine and put on your tongue. It's the same effect he got from McDonald's fish sandwich.
Hydrochloride?
So what's happening here is, we asked this particular question, especially about crack cocaine. It was almost like some of these people took this thing for the first time and got hooked. Maybe they was predisposed to the cocaine based on the fast food. See what I'm saying? Now this is a mystery. Obviously they're trying to get another hit, because recently I went to a McDonald's and bought a fish sandwich in the black community. Bought one in the white community, didn't have this. In the black community, this was a month ago, tongue got numb and lip got numb.
So they pumping the fish with hydrochloride?
No, cocaine, man.
Itself, cocaine.
Some type of cocaine, some predisposed thing that will get you hooked on something else. Now we know that this is another run, because we remember in most of the reports of the LA riots, they said that how did the gang members get a lot of their guns? They said they just went down to the railroad track, and there was just box cars that they would wide open, and they would just go to the railroad track, and the government would take these box cars and pull them up, and they'd have all these M16 and all these guns. Now listen, recently now in Atlanta, within the last month, they got guys that's going down to the railroad tracks, and every night there's a box car full of guns. But then again, on the other hand, they got this one black McDonald's in the neighborhood, in the major part of the city, that's also selling these products with a cocaine base. So in so many words, they're trying to start this whole dope thing back up. You see, for the new generation of people coming out of high school or whatever type thing. You see, so we're still talking about major warfare. So I say that about the doom and gloom to tell you this. Despite them being all over the world with all the wars, there's something that is going down with us that the major powers know at this particular time right now that they're focused on. So no matter what you do and no matter what you're thinking with Iraq and all the other stuff that's going on about here, it's still about what's going on with us at this particular time, despite the behavior of black people, which is insane. Which is insane. We are the messianic people.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? And there's a lot of groups that's jealous of that.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? So, to divert the attention to Iraq and somewhere away from you means that you are really under attack at this particular time. And as a result, last Friday they just passed the last act of the Patriot Bill.
That's right.
That's the Patriot Bill. So in so many words, we're talking about us being the terrorists. Us being the terrorists. You see what I'm saying? And people across the country, especially black men in high school, are getting charged for terrorist threats. Just by arguing in high school, that's not considered a terrorist threat. So we're still talking about, the focus is still us, fight what we think. Give me some questions right quick.
So when you look at black youth today, you say that we have devolved, man, devoluted, what you were saying?
Listen to me. First of all, look. Bill Cosby spoke out a week ago, 2 weeks ago. Now, despite what you might think, he ain't said nothing that wasn't on most black people's minds. See what I'm saying? I think that in so many words, we're talking about the only way that you could even have, things based on the youth is still designed by the greater government. So it's going to always be the greater government that's going to set the tone for that. You see, so that's still designed by the greater government in the particular aspect of taking people to a certain level of savagery and stuff like that. So yes, but in so many words, the youth, whatever it is, it's going to be set, the pattern is going to be set by what the government has in store for them. It's in the next whatever. You see what I'm saying? And that's based on the parent, whether it's going to be an effect or whatever the thing. Give me some questions right quick.
Anybody out here in the audience? Hold on, Cam. Anybody out here?
Yeah.
And what is the real reason why they wanted to enslave black people? Because it seems there's always something else other than just labor.
Good question. Good question.
The real reason is this, and this is the bottom line. There's several ancient texts that understand certain things. Remember now, they study our ancient texts. They study our ancient texts night and day. Just last year alone, there was 20,000 research situations on melanin alone on the internet. 20,000. And the next year, it changes every year. So despite what we're thinking, they're still studying some stuff, but I'm going to get to the ancient part of what's going on. Now, because see, you have people like Tony Brown's Journal, if it still comes on. They paid this Negro, and it's the new thing to say that there is no difference between the races. But yet, there's 20,000 research manuals alone on melanin alone just last year, and each year it changes. So my point here is we're talking about major research that they know that they're pinpointing something of the people that they have found out that's going to be the next jump into the next phase of evolution. That's coming up out of us, despite what we think.
Right.
Now, there's a guy, did you ever get Eugene Adams?
No.
There's a guy, you're going to be able to get it. Eugene Adams is a guy that wrote, did a tape on the African presence in Asia, where they had located a temple in Asia where they foretold slavery for thousands of years. And based on the slavery in this temple in China, that the messianic people coming up out of that slavery would be us. And this is what the ancient temple in Asia. And so we had a real bad tape. We had to locate this brother out of the Bronx, but we finally got access to the tape. That's one incident. There's other major texts that they have been studying over the years that tell us, and I have got some of these texts, that we are those particular people. In the aspect that certain groups, like the Jews or whatever, is jealous of that and trying to counter this by trying to make themselves the people of suffering. So we even have a people that's trying to counter that and to set themselves up as these suffering people. When we know damn well we on the bottom right now, so that goes without saying.
For sure.
But in so many words, what that means is that they have slated the person slated for the next level of evolution. You say, well, how can you say that? Look at these niggas around here, they act like they're crazy.
Yes, sir.
But you must understand the process of someone evolving. In order for you to evolve, new growth comes from putrefaction. It comes from degeneration. In order to rise, it has to be a fall. So even in scientific terminologies, if you have a people that his slate is wiped out of culture, customs, and history, all right, and you have a people that slate is wiped out of all of those things, then that means that that particular person is empty in the particular aspect of the new state of evolution. It goes like this. If your sight is lost, your hearing becomes better. If your hearing is lost, your sight becomes better. You see what I'm saying? So if your brain is lost, there's a new aspect of a new brain taking over, which is called the pineal brain. The pineal is a second brain. And so the people that are slated for the new aspect of evolution, because this particular word has literally been cleared away. That means that you are the messianic people. Number one, because you're the original people. So you can just go historical on that.
That's right.
You know, we don't even have to even argue on that stuff.
Right.
And remember, even in the movie the X-Men, especially the first one, where they talk about this evolution, they said there's a new mutation that's coming, but it takes a long time. It takes a process. So the only people that was around long enough to transmutate was the people that was here for millions of years. That just makes sense. You see, if you're going to transmutate, you would have to have been on the airplane for thousands and thousands and millions of years for the mutation process or the transmutation type process to take place. That is us. You see what I'm saying? So that's why all over the world, they're wiping out the Africans.
That's right.
You see, that is one of the reasons. But the concept here is the messianic aspect has to take place, and it's taking place as we speak.
Buddha will be born
Amongst us. It is taking place as we speak. Go back and get that movie Unbreakable. The movie Unbreakable shows you that there's transmutation. Now, some of you might have this thing right now. Sometime, and you could, how many people have cut themselves? You know, you had an accident, you cut yourself, and about 2 days later, it starts to heal up miraculously. This is happening. That is because there's already a transmutation going on amongst our people. But we don't know it for the simple fact that they have our minds on other things. But it is happening as we speak. Give me some questions. What's that, sister?
It's about slavery.
Yeah.
I was listening to one of the tapes of the feminization of the black male.
That's mine.
A feminization of the black male.
Uh-huh.
And that has that tape. And the brother was saying that if we don't know what slavery is, how do we know we're not still in it, you know?
Right.
And I thought that was very interesting, and I started thinking about the 13th Amendment,
Right.
which states that, you know, when you go to prison, you are, in fact, a slave.
Yeah.
And the fact that all of our male youth and children
Yeah.
are being incarcerated now,
Right.
which makes them slaves.
Yeah.
And once they're taken away from us,
Well, number one, we are slaves in the aspect even on a legal level, because the Bank of England buys all of our birth certificates at birth. So we are slaves based on that. First of all, and I'm going to talk about this tomorrow. There was never no such thing as no independence, war of independence, or no revolutionary war. Ain't no 10 white people with no shoes on beat no British Empire. It's bullshit. We are still a part of England. I want to ask you a question. How did we have an independence from England, or they had an independence from England, when our court system is still set up under British law?
That's right. That's right. Come on with that.
You see what I'm saying?
Come on with that.
Our court system is still set up under Britain. Our educational system is still set up under Britain.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? Let me give you an example.
Help somebody.
3 things in this country. Number 1, the Supreme Court. Once you are appointed to be a Supreme Court justice, nothing can get you out of that seat, no president or nothing. That's your job for life. Okay? Until you resign or die. The second thing is, no matter what presidents are in that seat, the people in Wall Street never change. Alan Greenspan's job is going to be there, whether it's a Bush or Clinton or whoever.
That's right.
You understand where I'm coming from? The second thing is this, to let you know that we are living in a penal colony, because our birth certificate, your birth certificate is your serial number for the penal colony.
That's right.
If you don't believe that, have a child and don't get a birth certificate and see what kind of trouble you get into.
That's right.
Now, the second thing is this. The only other job where once they appoint you, that job is yours for life is prison warden. The only way you can do that is either resign or the president or nobody can get you out of that job, because that's all appointed by England. You see, so this whole concept here is a penal colony.
That's right.
Even right now, you think you free because you can walk about and buy shit. If you don't consume, you don't count.
That's right.
You are the enemy. Right now, even with our people, we are now on mind control. When the less our people consume and buy things, the more we look down on them.
That's right.
So, who's to say that this is not slavery? Someone that's telling you that your religion is consumerism.
That's right.
You see, if you don't buy, you don't count. And since the 2000s, if you don't have no money in this country, you're not even considered human. You're considered animal. You see, what's that, brother?
Hey, Bobby, isn't it true that the black economy in America spends $700 billion a year in this country? It's the 5th largest economy in the world.
Behind Spain.
And we are the poorest motherfuckers on
Right.
the
So apparently,
$700 billion of income.
but still we're talking about a form of slavery.
That's right.
You see, a form of slavery. So you are right. Listen, in the occult technology of power, which is Illuminati handbook, and you can still get these things here. They sell them over here at Soul Brothers Boutique, have a few of them. Occult technology of power. It says in order to put a people in slavery, only thing you got to do is tell them that they are free.
That's right.
You see?
That's right.
So as soon as you tell a person they're free, you can put them in slavery. As soon as you tell a person that they are educated and give them a degree, you can fool them into thinking that they're educated.
That's right.
And education in this country is not allowed.
That's right.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I think it's not allowed.
Yeah. 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 So education is not allowed. So yeah, that's a form of slavery. Yeah.
I want you to speak to the people about the fact that constitutional law states that any descendant of a slave is not a citizen. Because our people think that they're American.
Can't hear you, sister.
Yeah. Yeah. What it is this. In so many words, we was let out of servitude slavery, 1865, but they never did any ceremony to induct us into citizenship. We're not citizens.
We're not citizens.
We're not citizens.
Negroes need to stop saying
You see.
Stop using the term African American. There's no
Yes.
such
There's no
thing.
such animal.
Yeah. So we're not citizens. Number one, also too, even Whoopi Goldberg said this, and she was right. When we bought the African American term, we cut out all of the Caribbean,
Right.
all of South America,
Right.
all of Latin America, all of Africa. And this is another way to reclassify you see what I'm saying, outside of power.
And
So,
to disconnect you from
right, Right. So the concept here is when you say that, that's a political move that was put in by the government to break you down to this subclass, you see, and not be a world community. And my point here is you're still a world community. I can see if you chose to come over here, then a person can say, well, since you chose to come over here, you're not necessarily, some Europeans can't say that they are part of Europe because they chose to come over here. But a person who didn't choose to come over here, that means that you're a part of a greater global community. Because that means you are, whether you are hostage or whatever, you're still a part of a greater global community. So to call you an African American is to disconnect you from that global community and that great diaspora that we was talking about. So that's a political move, especially when you didn't ask to come over here.
Is that also part of the reason why they won't allow you to get dual citizenship and be repatriatized to Africa? Is that part of it too? Because they actually give you a problem
it's
of doing it.
all of that, all of that. Yeah, what's that?
Are we the true Native Americans?
Yes, in the aspect of this. Now come on. The average Native American was this brother's complexion at the turn of the century. Now when you say Native American, it's some white person with a feather in his hair. So how in within
blue eyes.
So how in 100 years you can become to be a white person with a feather in the hair, and the average Native American was your color. And all you got to do is just look at all the pictures from the turn of the century. We're talking about the 1900s.
What about my hair? What about the hair texture?
Well, see, all of that. See, there's a whole concept here too. Is they want to say that they came by way of Asia and the whole Bering Straits thing. That is to omit the Olmecs.
That's right. I've heard that.
Where did the Olmecs go? What is the Olmec culture? What is the base stock of humans in this hemisphere? It was Olmec. You see what I'm saying? It was Olmec. So most definitely.
So a lot of us didn't come from Africa.
No. We have a variation of history. Some of us did, but no. To lump all of us in as African American in the particular aspect of to say African American is a falsehood. In the particular aspect of two things. Number one, all Africans who came here were not just West Africans.
That's right.
That's another trick.
That's right. So you saying we was here before the white man
yes.
got here?
Yes, definitely. Well, how would you constitute? How would you constitute the Olmecs?
Right.
How would right, and Blackfoot. You see what I'm saying? So no, that's another history. That's another history that we were here, and the whole concept of not only us. So that whole African American thing is to omit. You see the indigenous black man of this particular land too. What's that?
Hey Bobby, can you talk about the white man today with his technology and how he's trying to stop the transformation of the opening of the pineal gland by polluting the atmosphere, the very rays, the cold.
Well, they're doing several things. It's more than one front. Like I just said again, high definition TV.
Right.
It's right in the TV sets. Now they talk about this stuff that scrambles the pineal and pituitary gland. That's one particular way. You know, the food, the diet, the atmosphere, the weather, and also too, one of the keys is dehydration. Let me give you an example. There was a movie came out called Cabin Fever. Go rent the movie Cabin Fever. Just came out. It was the first of the year. It just newly came on video about a month ago, 2 months ago. And this movie is about this disease that these people had. One guy fell in the water supply and everybody started getting this disease. Just to make a long story short, at the end of the movie, where they send the message, there was this disease in this small town, but it was near a mountain and a stream of water that was contaminated with this disease. And the next thing you know, the last thing you see in the movie is a big truck leaving the town to go to the city to say spring water. So don't let nobody fool you. For them to put that in the movie, that means you got to watch out for the spring water in the future. You see? So we talking about that. So they send us messages all the time.
Bobby?
Yeah.
I want you to
touch on one thing. One thing that I include in when I am speaking to a lot of brothers out here is about this religion and white savior thing. Where where religion alone is not going to cultivate the spirit for elevation.
Right.
Yes.
You know?
First of all, to give you an example, we just went to go see Fahrenheit 9/11. A lot of brothers and sisters that was dead was coming up saying, "Oh man, did you see this movie? Fahrenheit 9/11, it's all great." And we looking at him like, "Are you crazy? We've been telling you this shit for the last 10 years.
Yes, sir.
But they had to wait till the Europeans say that this country is fucked up for them to deal with it, because the origin of that still has to go back to that messianic image of a European savior. And that's embedded into the psychological aspect. You see, that's embedded into the psychological aspect, so that is major. That is major when it comes to Brother Big Man. Yeah. That is major when it comes to us. As a matter of fact, we can say that the basis on why we don't learn anything is because we feel that we are getting nourishment from something that is already given to us.
That's right.
Based on this damn religion.
That's right.
So if you feel that in actuality that your religion is the universal truth and your God is the universal savior, then therefore it will deter you or prevent you from looking farther into greater mysteries and even knowledge of trying to learn a better aspect about yourself. So we're talking about an even greater grip on this whole religious aspect.
Bobby, real quick, can you address can you address the government orchestrated personality that our people are displaying called a thug?
Go ahead.
I really would like to hear that addressed.
Yeah.
We got a lot of thugs.
Right.
And it speaks
Right.
to the fact that we have sheeple and not people anymore.
Right. Yes. That's what Bill Cosby was actually saying. See, you can't get, because Bill Cosby makes millions of dollars, does that mean he's supposed to sit back and co-sign on a bunch of niggas acting like fools? He was right. And he wasn't saying no more than most black people in their community was saying about how fucked up these Negroes are out here. You see what I'm saying? Like he said, your dirty laundry get aired at 2:30 when they get out of school. So you see what I'm saying? So in so many words, he's right. That's a manufactured aspect of the whole thug life thing. It's a manufactured aspect so bad until around the world, based on satellite TV and based on the images that the only one they're going to ever let the people see outside of America, is so bad until the people in other countries actually think that that's our culture, is this thugism.
That's right. That's right.
The reason why I know, because it was two sisters came over from England in 1998. And when they came over, we was taking them around the regular black people, and they was like, these are bougie niggas. I'm like, wait a minute, you in the middle of the ghetto, what you talking about? But they was looking for what they saw on the fucking videos.
That's right. That's right.
And when they didn't see that, they got upset.
That's it.
These are two sisters from England.
Right.
Because the only thing they see is the same concept of this thug life. And that's a manufactured aspect of it.
That's right.
That's a manufactured aspect of it all. And so the concept here is now you got, see, let me explain something what's going on about the whole thug thing. Now, anybody that grew up prior to the 1980s, they understood when you went to Alabama, you saw a different kind of black person.
Right.
When you went to Philadelphia, the Philadelphia Negro was different than the New York Negro.
Right.
The Washington, D.C. Negro was different than that. You see what I'm saying? We had different type of black people all over the country, which is key, because that's how you learn, by interacting with different type of flavor.
Right, that's right.
Now you can go to Monterey, California,
Come on,
all white, and you will see black people acting like brothers and sisters from New York. If you go to Alabama now, you will see black people, there is no difference.
right.
You see what I'm saying? So that means you have manufactured a culture,
Right.
and it locks your mind in. The mind is a multifaceted, dimensional thing. That means that it cannot function on a higher level with just one monolithic choice. It has to have variations of different types of expressions, different types of experience. So if you want to put a people in slavery, you manufacture the same person all over the country. So the European, as far as the music industry, has chosen the thug life for your children.
That's right. And that's a vehicle
right.
to go
right. Now, one thing about the thug life, no matter how you like it, being intellectually superior is not a great attribute of thug behavior. So therefore, a person can come up on a higher intellect and he can be scorned and vilified in school because he doesn't fit the criteria of a doggone thug. And that's what what's-her-name saying. 50% of you all can't read now. You see, that's a design behavior.
That's right.
You could design a behavior where you could take the lesser repertoire, make it fashionable,
right,
and make a whole culture out of it, and then bring everybody down to the low level.
Right.
And it won't be nothing. So when a person falls, he won't have no counterpart to look at as a model to bring himself up, because they all acting the same damn way.
All black power.
Blind leading the blind.
You see, what's that?
Bobby, I got a friend. We went on the internet. We found this white woman and this white man who said they could create a style
Exactly.
that black young kids will follow without asking no questions. They can make anything they want.
Exactly. Let me give you an example.
They created the white t-shirt thing, where they had half the t-shirt on and the other half off.
Right.
We got the document.
Right.
And sure enough, 3 months later, niggas was running around here with half their t-shirt on and half their t-shirt off.
Right.
What about the pink?
So we still,
hours later.
yeah. We talking about, Also get the movie Josie and the Pussycats. Came out in 2001.
That's right.
It drops all that in the movie. And you thinking a little stupid white girl movie, they deal with all that.
Right.
And the only one caught on before all of them was the black girl, and they were gonna kill her. So yeah, all of that is right on the money.
Hey, Bobby, let's hold on, black man.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Well, since Tupac started the whole thug life craze,
Talk up, man.
Would you say he's to blame, or he's like far responsible?
Let's put it this way. Let me explain something to you. Let me tell you what happened to Tupac. Remember, Tupac went to prison because of the When Death Row got him out, he was going to come back and he wanted to write the next phase of conscious rap after they had actually phased it out after Public Enemy KRS-One. He wanted to go with the next phase of it in the genre that he was dealing with, but a part of his terms of being released from prison is that he had to manufacture the thug thing. So that was a design by the government and the people who were behind the record industry.
Pushing that NWA.
You see what I'm saying? So when he got out, his hands was tied because they told him a part of his release is he got to take this music a certain way, and the thug life was born. Although he had already started it long before he went in, but they really started to manufacture that. And as a matter of fact, and that became standard for all rappers.
That's right. Now it is standard.
That is standard for all rappers.
They can't talk about it.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Go ahead, brother.
Yeah.
Y'all talking about the thugs, but I see that people who go to church,
Yeah.
the religion,
Yeah.
are a problem also.
Well, we're not saying, no. So what we're saying is this here.
No, my question is,
Yeah.
what do you think religion plays a part of people that's mentally enslaved also?
It's devastating. It has always been devastating. As a matter of fact, in the Occult Technology of Power, which is the Illuminati handbook, they said that one thing that they will always have on the side of oppressing people is the religion. So yes, that's not the answer either, and I think it's also spiritual why the government has been trying to take the religion and have it break into rap for years, but it just don't cut it. So on one hand, the thug thing is a problematic, but another thing here is spiritual, that you ain't jumping around talking about, hip-hop for Jesus, because it just don't cut it. They've had several people, as a matter of fact, your boy, your boy Mace, that was all a part of him coming out. That was a conspiracy, but the shit didn't work. And it's never going to work, and I think that's spiritual, it doesn't work. You see what I'm saying? With that indoctrination. So yeah.
Bobby, now, we done covered the hip hop aspect of the thug, but what about the R&B singers? With all this homosexuality and misogyny, you know what I'm saying? Well, and they got our young boys running around with 2 big rocks in their ears, wearing pink, and want to look like a bunch of bitches. What's up with that?
Not only that, too, it's not even just R&B. Not even just R&B. They're saying it's major prevalent in the rap industry.
Oh, yeah.
Big time.
Oh, yeah.
Big time in the rap industry. In so many words, that is the Hollywood way. That is the Hollywood way.
That's right.
As a matter of fact, that is how you are able to amass millions of dollars. Remember that these people ain't gonna give you $20 million to make a movie. You see what I'm saying? Not unless you done slept with somebody. So this thing now is going even on into the music industry. You see what I'm saying? Even on into the music industry, you see, because they cut us off from the classics. You see, there's a whole lot of things going on, yes, so I would say, but that is the European way now, and the way of the Illuminati, because then again, on the other hand, the secret societies, that is their way.
That's their way.
You see what I'm saying? As far as you gotta sleep with this other person. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, what's that?
In the hip-hop, so in the hip-hop culture, do you think that there's a lot of undercovers or overt homosexuals in the rap now?
I met a guy in Virginia I met a guy in Virginia that is real active in behind the scenes. He does a lot of the arranging and stuff, and he was saying that the only reason why he decided to stay behind the scenes because it's so prevalent. This thing is almost like a country club, that all of them sleeping with each other. You see, this thing is major. This thing is major, and especially the ones that remain on top.
Oh, yeah.
They're all a part of that country club. You see what I'm saying?
So yeah. Saying that's a prerequisite to get into the club.
To get into the club. To get into the club. You see what I'm saying?
Who got a question in the back?
Yeah.
Brother?
When you listen to the news, right? They always, you know what I mean? Instead of telling you sound good, they telling you about gay marriages and every minute. So subconsciously, it's going down in your mind.
Making evil fair seeming.
Not only that, you got to understand, like I was saying, with high definition TV and different things like that. Now remember now, what you have learned by getting DVD, they showed it on Laserdisc back in the day, but people didn't get the Laserdisc. What you learn about DVD is you have 3 to 4 different movies within the DVD. You can get widescreen, you get this, you get that, and it's one DVD, and you just click on a certain avenue and do that. That means they're showing you that there could be layers of something you are watching and you're watching something else. Right. Now, when I was in New Jersey back in 1996, some brothers approached me in Newark and were saying that they had a group of guys that they thought was being manufactured into homosexuals. That means that there was something that was going on within their daily life that was turning them gay. Well, the DVD shows you that in actuality you could watch 2 great gay men having sex. But you could be watching a movie, Boys in the Hood or whatever, and up under the movie is a sexual thing going on, and then all of a sudden, you got a hankering to go suck on somebody's dick. Then you figure, and you trying to figure out what's going on, because the subliminal seduction is much more powerful than what you even see with these 2 eyes. Because you were talking about the subconscious mind. You see, so not only that, it's in the music also. It's in the music also. Well, let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. I went to the AU Center down in Atlanta, Georgia. That's 5 colleges right across the street from each other. And in the late 70s, early 80s, your thing was to hook up with the women. We used to get up on the honeys. That was our shit. Get up on the honeys. Now, if you go there, you will see the guys on one side of the street hanging together and the girls on another side of the street hanging together. That meant that the rap music is telling you now that your thing is to be with your boy. Whereas when we grew up, your thing was you got your boy, but it'd be like, yo, you need to go get you some booty, nigga. So this is fostering a form of homosexuality. And you go down there, the guys got on too much clothes and the girls got on hardly nothing. But yet, These would be some of the most beautiful women in the world, and the guys don't even notice them. Because the culture in the video is they are only to be seen as objects, but they're not to be communicated with on a relationship level. You communicate with your boy on a relationship level. And that's a form of manufactured homosexuality that's coming. So they foster this stuff through the rap culture. You see, they foster that through the rap culture.
Any questions?
As well as up under that CD, they're telling you need to fuck a man. Now, the reason why we know that, we was doing a lecture in Baltimore in 1996, and there was some brothers down there that was just completing their album. They was been in the studio for a couple of months, just completing their record, and they had me to come up. And they said, well, it's interesting. They said, we're getting ready to put the finishing touch on our album next week. They said, but the whole time we've been in this studio, there was a guy down there with an armed guard with a machine gun on this door. They said, well, what's inside that room that they have a machine gun? And they went up to him, and the guy told him, oh, I'm guarding the door and the room, whereas whenever you all leave with y'all raps, they go and put some shit up under your music and give to your people. Listen what the guy told him. Whoa. So in so many words, there was another room, so you could go in and you can say, I'm gonna even do a conscious rap. And you go in and do your thing, but up under it, they done put some other shit.
And Bobby, that's why
hold up, man, hold up. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why record companies will not allow the artists to master their own stuff. They always got to take.
Yes, right. If you're right. Let me give you an example. You're right about that. If you look, even if it's a black company, you would also see back in the day, you would see Motown, but it say master that Capitol, master that Sony. You see what I'm saying? The people, that's a close-knit aspect of sound engineering that they don't even let you into. So that's very key. What's that?
Would you say that the Bush administration is Al-Qaeda?
Al-Qaeda is government. No, but let me give you an example. Let me give you an example because you're gonna make the mistake everybody else made. There ain't no Bush administration, there ain't no Democrat, there ain't no Republican. You fall for that bullshit, you get it. It's not a Bush administration, it's the secret societies, and whether it's Bush or Kerry, it's gonna be the same shit. John Kerry is George Bush's cousin. John Kerry and George Bush's cousin and Skull and Bones. So you got, so my point here is this here. Mind control is even when you say Bush administration, you've already been given a prerequisite of what you're saying. It ain't no administration. All of that shit is one entity. Global white supremacy. But what was your question about it?
Bush was the one that knocked down the World Trade Center.
Al-Qaeda, Colin Powell went and paid them so many $1 million in January of 2001. He went and dropped off, what, 100 million? So that they could reinforce the caves. Al-Qaeda is nothing but the United States government. You see what I'm saying? The building was imploded. The building was imploded, and and if you see the building fell straight down, any type of random, if it was randomly hit, you could have any kind of disaster. Why these things was orchestrated? That was all that way. Let me give you an example. If nobody knew that this plane was supposed to hit, the first images they gave you was the shaky cameras, which are supposed to be people who just so happened to be there with cameras and watching, so they had them shaking. Spirit told me, they said, go watch HBO. The next year, they say, now if you see a cinematography panoramic shot of the plane crash, you know that they were waiting on it. The next year, they had a clear cinematography panoramic shot. They couldn't show it the first year. They showed it the second year because the people are not alert. You see what I'm saying? But why is it that FEMA, Federal Emergency Management Act, moved in to secure the perimeter for the disaster the day before? You see, they moved in on 9/10. You see what I'm saying? That's all fake. Why is it that they don't even talk about the Pentagon being hit? And to this day, they can't even find The plain parts. This is the only time in history a building has been hit and they can't even find pieces of the damn plane.
You can't look at that building cross-eyed without getting shot.
You see, as a matter of fact, there's a no-fly zone over the damn Pentagon. The agenda for number one is this. You know how many laws they set up? You know how many laws they set up from the Oklahoma bombing? 1996. It was actually 95. 95. You know how many laws they set up? The whole concept, the reason why they can get you to be on lockdown now is that they got it's an ecology of fear. And basically they can put you in slavery just based on fear. You see, right. So that whole concept, yeah, so there's several laws. As a result, this meeting right now could be branded as a terrorist meeting. Yeah, what's that? Yeah.
Giuliani was saying, right, that when they say don't try to find out what happened, you ain't supposed to know the truth, leave that to the cops. You ain't want nobody to know.
Right.
So he was trying to advocate that you go to church. You know what I mean?
Right, go to church, yeah. Fear. The whole thing is fear, yeah. The whole concept. You know what's that? Mm-hmm.
I wanted to ask, wouldn't it be good that Bush would be re-elected? Because, like, what I heard Sanetta say, like, if he's re-elected, he could just spark off like some type of revolution with the ignorant people waking up.
It doesn't matter. Either way, they're going to get the same ass whipping with Kerry. It's going to be jumping from the pot to the frying pan. Same shit. No, the people are so zombified now, they're not going to wake up on shit. They're only going to wake up when the blood is up to their neck. The people are savage now. They're so dead until they're only interested in who give them their Kellogg's cornflakes in the morning. It's all about eating. It's all about survival. The people are at a survival level. They're not that sophisticated to farm no revolution for some things going on, because they will try to justify anything this white man does with an excuse. Hell, they doing it now. These people came on TV last week and admitted that we went to war for no reason. And for the mere fact they didn't burn down the country because of that black all white, let you know that it's all form of mind control. These people are nothing but whores. You see? Yeah. Uh-huh.
We're saying that Kerry and Bush are both skull and crossbone brothers.
Right.
Then we are saying that that is something to watch automatically. You have to understand what skull and crossbones is, and then make your determination from that. Two, any forum that's put up for us as something for black people to watch, you have to watch it first before you let your children watch it.
Yeah.
You have to dissect it.
Yeah.
And then give them the information, because the rest of it is camouflage for them.
Mm-hmm. Right. So yeah. What's that?
I may have came late, but
yeah.
I wanted to know, you were talking about Europeans and Americans.
Yeah.
My experience from going to Europe is a very big difference than Americans. I believe Americans have a certain way of doing things, separating minorities from white Americans. Europeans, for the most part, embrace us. Actually, like the culture from the 70s and 80s that I grew up in.
Right. Let me get no. Let me give you an example. No, he's right.
Hold on, I make a lot of money with them.
Yeah.
Okay. I own my own master recordings. I own my own publishing.
Yeah.
I'm totally solo. Okay. I don't have a company that I have all these employees.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is, they do not embrace rap culture. They embrace hip-hop culture and music that is a positive. Of course, there's pop culture where it's
Okay, listen.
But the fact of the matter is that I've noticed, I've worked with Gamble and Puff in the 90s. Philadelphia Sonic.
Yeah.
Great music. I couldn't give them one record with Gamble and Huff.
Right.
I revived Thelma Houston's career to actually re-record in the 90s. Re-record.
Yeah.
She's obviously performing everywhere.
Right, yeah.
But she performs overseas.
And then, all of them are making money over there, but this is the deal. Now, you were right in what you were saying on this particular aspect of them embracing black culture, period. They go crazy over there.
Culture in general.
Yeah. They go crazy over in what's called, but this is the deal, what we have to understand. When we talk about black and white, European or whatever, now this is the difference. On your individual level, some of this might not hold water because you might know some Europeans that treat you decent. You understand what I'm saying? You might know a lot of them. This is the difference, what we're talking about here. When you're talking about on the individual level, people are people in the particular aspect of everybody has whatever they're trying to do with innate or whatever. That's the way the culture is. When we talk about these things, we're not talking about necessarily the individual attitudes towards European. We're talking about the global situation of a power elite.
More like government.
Yeah.
More like government.
I'm saying, no, when you're talking about power elite, that is where we are affected. Now, make no bones about it. They rule the country. They rule the world. And the reason why they're over in Iraq killing babies is because of the power elite, and that is world white supremacy. There's a difference. So yeah, individually that white person can't, you know, ain't no even sense of even storming on somebody who individually can't even affect you. So a lot of times here is when we do it and all, when we think of individual, we get confused because we say, well, you know, we know some white, I know some white folks that treat me decent. But I also try to understand the global culture of the people, the power elite that is involved. You've heard of things like the Illuminati and New World Order. All that is nothing but is new names, 1990 versions, because it started in the 90s, as far as this intelligence and New World Order. That's just a new name for white supremacy, because when it all boils down to it, on a global effect, that's what we're talking about here. Now, as far as entertainment, they have always embraced that. Why? Because the art form of the 20th century that basically gives you modern music is a black art form, period. Whether you go country or western, ain't nothing but another form of the blues. Whether you deal with any type of thing from, it's all nothing but a form of blues and jazz on up into what we have now. So they've always embraced that because that is the standard. Now, they in Europe understand based on certain prejudice that they don't get here, that they can embrace our talents and our genius a lot better because they are made privy to that more. You see, by not being in an antagonistic element that was designed for us in America, you see, of hatred in the particular aspect they were designed to hate us based on overall government. But what we're talking about here when we say this about European, we're not talking about individuals. That don't mean nothing. Because we're talking about the collective in the particular aspect, because they have a hierarchy that even rules over them on how they're going to ultimately treat you. Like, take for instance, let me give you an example. People was talking about, oh, I'm gonna go to, for most of the 20th century, oh, I'm going to Paris because they treat black people better in Paris. Oh, that held true until they had a major influx of Africans from the mid-70s to the 80s, and all of a sudden racism pops up in little old, then all of right. Yeah, so hold on, man.
I'm sorry.
You fucking up the sound by getting all happy. All of a sudden the shoe was on the other foot. These so-called abolitionists, the France, now want to kick all the Africans out of France. See, a lot of times they can embrace your culture because you're not in mass over there.
They already kicked Farrakhan out, right?
You see, I'm just saying, just period. You're not in mass over there. You're just a small group of people in a small community. So ain't no sense in bearing down on you. But when it becomes problematic, like it is in France, then all of a sudden, you got the same racism popping up. You see?
Hold up.
Yeah.
I agree with you that there are racist towards us.
Yeah.
I lived in Cam, France.
Yeah.
But what I want to say about that is, as here, I'm from the music business.
Yeah.
I don't appreciate all the Africans bootlegging my shit. All right?
Right,
I don't appreciate it.
Right.
And Asians and all that stuff.
Right, yeah.
Now, me, I have a family. I have to support my family. The Africans that are in Paris, France, country, they're all practically bootleggers. They don't speak the language. Right. Some of them, a good portion do speak French.
Yeah.
But what it comes down to is they don't have the education to get a job. But by the way, hold on one more.
But there's only one problem about that though.
They're not allowed to get their education because they don't have the monies or whatever?
No, but there's even a greater picture. But see, but check this out. No, hold on. Wait a minute, hold on. 1 minute. But when you say that in context, I mean, no, let me give this, no. Wait a minute, hold on. Yeah. Hold up 1 minute. But you got to say that in context of history. The only reason why they're over there is because the French came in and colonized their country and made it so that some of them can't even speak their own language, so the only way they can communicate is through French, so naturally they're going to go to France. So there's a twofold story. So it's more than just them being seen. You can't look at the pathology and judge the people on the side effect of them bootlegging and these type of things. You gotta look at the cause on why they were over there in the first place. They're over there in the first place based on world colonization. And so here again, we can argue based on the pathologies of the street and all this here, but here again, it has to go back to the global system of why this particular things occur in the first place. Those Africans are over there because they were in their country minding their business. The French went in, killed them up, made certain portions of them to the point where as they had to forget their indigenous language, and the only way they can function is through French, just like the only way we can function is through English. So there's always, so now when the French look at the story, they're going, what the fuck are you over here? That is because the history of the colonization is being omitted. And here it goes again, they are seen as the savage, when there's the savage that created the condition. So when we talk about these things here, we're not talking about the individual things that you see as the apparent. There's always a bigger synopsis that's going down that caused these things. And ultimately, that's what we're talking about when we talk about these particular aspects of what is going on in even Europe. Half them European countries are functioning based on raw materials they get out of Africa.
But what I say to you is I grew up here in the 70s.
Yeah.
Early 80s, I used to sell angel dust in all these clubs.
Right.
Now, I felt I did not want to work for anybody. I did not want to work for the so-called system because basically I had the bullshit job and I couldn't move up, I couldn't get the education.
Exactly.
So I started eventually sacrificing and basically not having a life to eventually have my own business.
Right, yeah.
In the 90s.
Right.
What I propose, what I'm saying is, we eventually have to elevate ourselves. And
wait a minute, no, see, no.
I work for myself.
Brother, I think you're barking up the wrong tree. The majority of the people you're talking about now is a conscious group that's been teaching self-reliance from the beginning. So, I mean, you're going to have to go to somebody else because these people here understand that. We're not talking about that. So what we're talking about this here. These people, see, first of all, I think you're entering into a movement that's been going on for the last 60 years that's been teaching self-reliance. So my point here is it's not like you just came in and gave us a profound insight. No, but what I'm trying to tell you, man, here is this here. You always have to engage historically in the people that you meet. There's a historical thing going on here where everybody here is talking about self-reliance. We've been talking about self-reliance, but still yet in the aspect of self-reliance, there's certain things that go on globally that you still have to understand. We are not making excuses, but what we're telling you here is, if somebody's killing your children, you got to know what's going on. Like, take for instance, when I first started off, they're in the hospitals, they're shutting down people's kidneys by giving them shots and shutting down black people's kidneys on purpose. Now that's a form of genocide, and they're making millions off of the dialysis. And the Europeans are not going through this. So my point, here in this country. So my point here is there is still some things that's on a higher order. 75,000 Africans die a month in Africa off of AIDS, not based on some sexual disease, based on the World Health Organization giving them those AIDS. So what I'm trying to tell you, man, that there is a much more sophisticated and tyrannical society that you live in, and you're thinking about free enterprise, and you don't even understand that there's a global thing that's going on of genocide before you even get to selling some damn records. And that's what we're talking about here. That's what we're saying here. So my point here is this here, in the midst of understanding pathology on how people can function, you cannot omit the type of information that is going on here on how basically there's genocide all across the world on indigenous people. You see, and this is the information we're bringing. We're not bringing the type of information where we're standing on a soapbox talking about how people are wrong us. We're talking about what motherfuckers are doing this just hour.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? And my point here is we still don't supposed to co-sign on that shit, no matter how much the doggone pathology of black people out here losing their mind. We still have to focus on, as a global thing, on what's going on, because the Europeans are doing it.
That's right.
They're doing it right now.
Hold up, no, hold up. She got it. She's been waiting.
Yeah.
What do you think about the theory that AIDS is a hoax?
Well, okay, let me explain something. This is my research. This is my research. The initial AIDS program of the 1980s, from 1982 to 1992, was an actual disease manufactured, fostered in through the homosexual community, ultimately to be a biological warfare, for indigenous people. But too often, if you have a sexual disease, it can run rampant, that can kill everybody. What you have now here is not the AIDS virus of the 1980s. What you have now here is a tracking system to give you AZT and other things to kill you and call it AIDS. It's the medicine. It's a beautiful way to do it. The people who don't catch nothing is the ones who don't take the AIDS test, because the AIDS test, is a lottery system. So what it is so they can be safe about it and say, we don't have to have an actual disease out here, because some of our people can tiptoe into the black community if we put the AIDS in the back. They don't have to do it that way no more. They have already introduced AIDS 20 years ago. Now the only thing they have to do is to say, you go and take the test. They go to your church. They tell your ignorant preachers to get everybody to take the test. And like a lottery system, they'll say, this percentage we gonna kill, this percentage we gonna let go, based on whether you are still expedient to them, and this particular percentage we gonna keep for the next round. So they're tracking this thing here based on hospitals, tests, and telling you that you got AIDS.
So what exactly is going on the continent?
On the continent, these particular people, what is going on the continent is this. These particular people, they create a panic. They first put an initial amount of people with the virus. They went and got tested positive. Then, after they got the people AIDS program to tell the people that they need to have checkups, they didn't have to have AIDS. These people actually go in and they get checkups. Let's say they come down with a cold. They'll tell them they got HIV, and then they start administering the job. So they're systematically killing 75,000 a month, not based on no virus, because they had a group of black people in the late 80s, early 90s that killed the virus. Just based on sickle cell alone, they couldn't do it, because the sickle cell was an attribute on the continent. So they had to do something different. They said, no, we're just going to systematically kill them. And they did this basically by just basically the World Health Organization, when you go in, they pay people just to get checkups to give them AIDS.
Exactly. So was that part of the point when they
and certain workers, certain missionaries, certain groups of people, like what's that one, the one that was started in the 1960s that all the black people in college go to?
Red Cross.
Not the Red Cross.
Salvation Army.
No, it's no. The one where they go around the world. Peace Corps. The Peace Corps. You see what I'm saying? Those types of things, yeah.
Say that white people are white people, whether they're in Europe, America, or Scandinavia. You understand? And they all play different games so that we can be constantly confused. You understand? Communism.
Let me explain something to all you about let me explain something to you about how the global world works. Of course they can come and say we want world peace. They own every goddamn thing. They have gone around the world, colonized the world, and that stuff got the raw materials out, and then the ones who still are rich in raw material, like South Africa, they are still in. And they own the world. So now you can say, oh, oh, it's about peace and shit. It's a master-slave relationship.
That's right.
We don't own nothing. That's like me calling myself a capitalist without no goddamn capital. You understand what I'm saying? So you got to look at a global aspect of, yes, they can come and say, it's love and peace and all this here, but yet the raw materials, for all the raw materials that is taken out of the indigenous land that is ours, we all supposed to be rich. Yet you got people on the continent, the richest continent on the earth, with oil, bauxite, all this particular raw material, and yet you got people living with famine. You got to understand a global aspect, and we need to get out of our personal things and what we like personally to look at a global aspect on what this thing is going. It's still white supremacy. You see what I'm saying? And I can't help it because the secret societies that run this shit just so happen to be white. That's reality. You see, that's reality. And the only reason why sometimes we flinch when we hear us talking about white supremacy is because we are trained to flinch.
Yes, sir.
And no matter what kind of pathology that we have, first of all, about this business, first of all, man, there's 40 million of us, and we have millions of businesses. So that's another thing. We have millions of businesses, despite what people think, globally. So this whole concept of self-reliance, we do the same thing. But one of the aspects here is you must understand this particular part. To deny one's culture is one of the reasons why we have this disarray. You see what I'm saying? So this whole assimilation bullshit is crazy. Because believe me, even in the music industry, there's mass racism.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? You see, so you know, so it's there are these games. But this stuff is run by Europe.
Yes, sir.
You see.
And also, Africa, we were stolen out of Africa. Everything that the white man has, they took from Africa, our natural resources. You understand? Because any money that you make it to buy food. You understand? You need someplace to live. So what's important is land and resources, not paper money, something that the white man made us to chase.
It's an illusion. It's an illusion.
You understand? And we're the true people. And anytime black people, Africans, stand up and say, I'm an African, as opposed to saying, I'm Spanish.
Huh?
That's right.
When they stand up and say they're African, they get bullets
all right.
because nobody wants the black man in this country.
Brother, I want to go back to 8.
Okay, yeah.
They are
You gonna pass the hat or what?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that right now.
The white man took. I mean, it's like an insult to say he's gonna give me something. What can you
Yeah.
Can't give me nothing.
You gonna give me stuff that you took from me? You understand? You a thief. And everybody gotta know the white man is a thief. He's a thief. You understand?
So I got to give him X amount. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying.
If you right, email me.
But I'm saying you only got 6 because this is not my product. You see what I'm saying?
I'll do your website though.
Huh? I got a website.
What's it called? What's it called then?
It's called SeriousTimes.com.
All right, yo, finish it up.
Right.
Of death. AIDS is a complete hoax,
Yeah.
according to my research.
Yeah.
They have not photographed that HIV virus. They have not isolated that HIV virus. The picture that they have of that HIV virus is a facsimile, meaning it's a drawing that the scientists think is the best composite that they can come up as far as the HIV virus is concerned. Not one single person that so-called has died of this so-called HIV AIDS thing all over the world. When they die, there's not one speck of HIV virus in their body all over the world. But the thing is that we are still dying from this hoax every day. Why? Because they're giving you AZT.
Right.
AZT is a chemotherapy
Right.
drug that they had to shelve because it was killing the cancer patients faster than the cancer was.
Right.
So they put it up on the shelf and say, and it sat there for years. And they said, well, what are we going to do with all this AZT? What they do, they come up with a disease to be packaged at AZT. Why they giving you a chemotherapy? Why they giving you Ritalin and Prozac? And
Yes, it's all hoax.
or whatever.
Most people are sick now, the ones who go to the hospital.
Medication. You don't die until you take the medication.
Yeah, what's that?
When I take a look at some of the documents that Europeans have done on African culture and on the continent of Africa, I see that they show us practicing certain things that I might look at as strange or I might not think is, you know, doing. Like, for instance, certain, sometimes they show people doing all types of piercings and the things are on the neck and you know, they tell us stories that, you know, he has his bone on his neck because he hunted his neighbor African, killed him, and that's his bone, he ate his heart and all of this.
Right.
Okay, if that stuff is true, what they're telling us about us, what we do, what we did, where did we get that from? It's how
those are extreme cases that is exacerbated.
Like, what I'm saying is,
most of the magical systems are much more scientific. You're just talking about those things in general?
Where did we get that from? I mean, does that stuff occur? I mean, this is what they
let's put it this way. You got to understand one thing. Some of those things that they say might happen, you must understand something about Africa. We just didn't exist about 2 days and then that's it. We're talking millions of years. Now, out of millions of years, you can have any kind of thing that can occur. And whether it be extreme or not, that's just in human history. You're going to have millions
What I'm saying is, where do we get this from? Like, what, you know, because I wouldn't look at that like...
My point, wait a minute. First of all, man, look.
Where do we get those practices from? Like, where does that, you know?
Everything that you think is not supposed to be Sunday school. Because something does not fit the criteria of what you call good and beautiful. Don't necessarily mean it's bad.
Okay, I understand.
You understand what I'm saying? It doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. You see, we know that, man, because half the things we do now can be considered an atrocity 30 years ago with us. Hell, eating pussy was bad to black people in the fucking 70s.
That's true.
And eating pussy was an African science. Some niggas still think it is. Eating pussy was an African science that we lost. And when we saw the white boy doing it, we didn't understand the history that the British took over India in the 19th century, colonization, and they got the Kama Sutra. And from the Kama Sutra, they started eating pussy, which is the African thing of conaling. They got it on the temple walls. And when we saw it, we thinking it's a white man shit. Yeah. Sexual, you know. Right, so my point here is, there's several things like that. It just depends on what you think is this. See, we got to get out of this whole righteous shit. And this righteous and morals and all this type of thing here. I mean, you know, I'm just saying, you know, maybe there might be one or two little things that they show that's extreme or whatever and stuff like that, but my point here is, who's to say that it's bad? You see what I'm saying? And who's to say that bad shouldn't be a form of good? You see what I'm saying? This depends on what time you do it. You have to elevate your mind beyond certain boundaries that were set for you based on society and taboos. You see what I'm saying? Taboos and different things like that. You know, right now, you got any motherfucking disease you want, you can cure by eating menstrual blood. But you wouldn't do that because you was taught that that was nasty. Right now, you can take a menstrual blood to kill any motherfucking shit on this planet. Depends on the time you eat it. But that's an African science. But you think that's nasty. See what I'm saying? You know, how, you know, you think that's nasty. You know, just depends on your concept of things.
Is that for the average guy to do that?
Huh?
Is that for the average guy to do that?
It's for the people who know the science on it. Yeah.
So if someone don't have the science, it can fuck them up.
No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. You know, no more than motherfuckers eat pig blood and hog blood and it don't fuck them up.
Bobby, did you deal with post-traumatic slave syndrome already?
Right.
Parts of it, yeah.
Okay. Now, what I want you to do is go into what connection the so-called Jew and pasta Jew have with slavery. Put that on. Hook that up.
Well, first of all, the whole concept of Jews being discriminated against based on white supremacy organizations is a hoax, because the Ku Klux Klan was started by the South Carolina Anti-Defamation League and Albert Pike, which is Jewish. So the white supremacy organization is Jewish fundamentally. You see what I'm saying? So discrimination mostly is a Jewish phenomenon. You see? You see, so that whole concept here, just Hollywood alone, looking at how you can dehumanize a people to the point that it's effective to this day.
Purpose of a nation.
You see, so yeah, well, the hell, they're the main culprits behind it. You see, and what happened was with the Anti-Defamation League, why they started the Ku Klux Klan, it started before that. They fought against slavery because they were Jewish landowners. But even afterwards, with Reconstruction and different things like that, they wanted to control black people. They started the Ku Klux Klan. You see what I'm saying? There's a book on that, Ku Klux Klan and ADL, Ugly History. And yeah, I got a whole tape called The History of the Ku Klux Klan that deals with a lot of that stuff. Yeah. Yeah, what's that? Hotep, brother.
All right. I want you to talk about, like, what I've seen now so far, especially in Harlem, you find a lot of brothers now permanent hair and wearing styles of women and children now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, we talked about
permanent hair.
Well, yeah, well, naturally. But we talked about that. A lot of this is coming from the subliminal aspect of what they see on TV, behind the TV, and in the music. A lot of this stuff is subliminal. It's on the subliminal aspect as well as the cultural aspect of doing that. We just in the bed with the beast.
But I mean, conking was done way before. Now I'm seeing brothers now actually in the salons getting hairstyles.
Yeah. I would say that all of that is a part of the programming. You see what I'm saying? The programming to get this asexual culture. You see, it's called metrosexual. You're not all the way gay, you're not all the way masculine. It's called metrosexual.
And got this androgynous look.
Yeah. And so the whole Hollywood culture and the new culture for America is called metrosexual, and so naturally they're going to train our children and most of the people into the metrosexual life, which means that you fuse both sexes in. But it's, you know, it's never from a spiritual level of you embracing the feminine concept, which we're supposed to do. We're talking about a physical level, mainly where sex is involved and stuff like that, you know. Yeah,
I got like 3 questions for you, but first, I just wanted to let you know I appreciate your documentary that you did on Egyptian dreams. I looked at it probably like 50 million times. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I really did the knowledge what you said. I got 3 questions. The first question is, I want to know, since this administration is having a pessimistic perception of Saddam Hussein, and they're having a pessimistic perception of the people in Haiti and all of that, why they not having a pessimistic perception of the slavery that's going on in the Sudan? That's the first question.
Yeah. Well, Saddam Hussein and all that is working for them. That's all contrived. Sudan works for them for the simple doggone fact that they have never been on the side of Africans in the whole 9 yards. They've never been on the side of Africans. Hell, if they killing 75,000 a month, then it stands to reason that they're not going to help the people in the Sudan, because that's their job, to kill 75,000 a month and call it AIDS. You see what I'm saying? So we know that anything they do, they're not in Haiti because they're for freedom. Remember now, a country who has never been about freedom can never give freedom. That's the Matriarchy law. You can't spread freedom, they ain't never had no freedom. You see what I'm saying? Isn't it funny how British in America always talk about freedom and they're slave masters and colonizers? They just celebrated the birthday of Normandy, how the Allies stormed down. It was a great day for freedom in 1944. They just did a whole thing on Normandy invasion. When they was talking about freedom and ally and all that stuff, Britain had in slavery at the same time they talking about freedom. Britain had under its banner in slavery the whole known world.
Wow.
So freedom for them is different than freedom for indigenous people.
Break it down. That's real.
All your colonies in Africa wasn't even decolonized when Britain was talking about a great day for freedom for them.
That's right.
India, China. They just got out of China in 1998. Right. They still in South Africa. They still in doggone South America. They are still in Australia, New Zealand. So that whole concept is never that way. So yeah, that's one, yeah.
All right.
And other darker ones and darker haired groups. But based on what the Egyptians and other texts say, they were created. Well, the Yakub is a code word. You see what I'm saying? It's a priesthood based on gene splicing. Just like they do cloning now, they had all that type of technology. Gene splicing, half human, half animal, half ape, half pig, a combination of experiments. Go get your movie, Island of Dr. Moreau. It's one of the best movies.
Quest for Fire.
Huh? Quest for Fire, yeah. Mm-hmm. It was several animals. Several animals. The ape, some of everything. Some of pig, you know, several things. With a little bit of DNA from human genes, from our genes too. Because that's how you get the arm, the leg, the head, and a human body. But it's several things. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
We understand the ignorance of black people.
Yeah.
As far as how you feel about certain aspects. But what we want to do is to get a format to get out of the ignorance. Now, do we have a method?
What you about the masses?
Absolutely.
Man, hang it up. Ain't no format of getting out of shit. You know the format? Annihilation. It's the ultimate aspect of this thing. You see what I'm saying?
So do we have something for the smaller masses to learn and deal with?
That's what we're doing right now. That's that intelligentsia that we're dealing with right now. You see, yeah.
African avatars.
Huh?
Black avatars born amongst us. You see that coming up?
That's what's happening. It's coming from the molecular structure. That's what's going on as we speak right now. Not only am I avatar for teaching you, you are avatar for listening. It's in you. It's in the genetic aspect. That's what we was talking about, this evolutionary phase that is going on. That's what's going down. What's that? Yeah, he had first. Yeah.
Brother mentioned something about water.
Yeah.
Would you say that 2/3 of the water system in America is fluoridated? Or that's a roundabout figure?
Yeah, I would say that. But I would say with steam distilled water, a water that you can put a spin on it. They're talking about this as far as water technology. Your body is already transmutating every day. So the thing about it is, if you ain't just directly drinking the sink water, you pretty much your body is designed to transmutate what you put in if it's halfway decent. You understand what I'm saying? If it's halfway decent, because we're not talking about the same body of 1999. We're transmutating daily on a molecular structure.
So with that, would the water that has been put through a reverse osmosis, that water, would you say that water is okay to drink, or distilled water?
Mostly distilled water.
Okay, but the reverse osmosis, what do you think about the reverse osmosis process? For example, Dasani water, that water.
What do you get?
Dasani.
I'm saying, do you drink that?
I do.
I found out that any of that stuff, that's pretty much like the reverse they're talking about, that is your body is going to be able to use it.
Okay, because I heard two different analogies.
Yeah.
From a sister named Mona
Harrison, yeah.
She said one thing about reverse osmosis, and I'm getting another spin on it. She's just simply saying that the reverse osmosis water may not communicate with your body chemistry as much. So
for the masses, yeah, but for the conscious, you are already accelerating with the rise of the Kundalini energy. You're already accelerating at a level that it's going to transform what you need, the vessel. For the masses, yes. But for the people with the, and everybody here is Kundalini and pineal glands at a certain level, or you wouldn't be listening to this shit.
That's right.
So for the mere fact you got that going on, it's all, you pretty much can transmutate anything that enters and stuff like that. You know, yeah. Yeah, okay.
All right. Now, I wanted to ask you this. from my understanding of my research.
Yeah.
Like earlier when the brother asked you about like initiations and the like secret orders and stuff like that. Now, my understanding is as high as they go is 33 in the third degree.
Yeah.
Which is 1/3 of 360 degrees.
Yeah.
My question is, if that's so, how did they trick the black man, and how did they manipulate us, and how?
No. They.
I just want to finish my
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
Because it's crazy that we 40 million deep, and that these crackers they the minority, and how they so organized, their infrastructure and they so dysfunctional and disenfranchised. It's like, how did we get like that? And we dealing with 360 degrees, and they only dealing with 33.
No. Okay. You got to understand general history. This earth plane that we live on, change is supreme. Whether it's change of acceleration or degeneration. What we don't understand is we think that we were in Africa or we were indigenous people for about 2 years and then we fell. We ruled for millions of years. We didn't fall. We deteriorated as an intermission. Ain't nobody tricked nothing. You see what I'm saying? Nobody didn't topple us from the throne. When the European came into existence, we were already in our senile period.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? Everything down here has to have a series of a cycle of deterioration, regeneration. That's the earth plane. And humans do the same thing. Based on the cycle of the sun and the cycle of the cosmos, and for ruling for millions of years.
This is halftime.
Ruling for millions of years. We didn't fall. It deteriorated. You just got to know history, because most of us still get our history from a biblical history of 3,000 years. We got goddamn pottery older than 3,000 years. You see? So my point here is, we ruled for millions of years. There wasn't no single thing that toppled. The European is only at this level because we gave him this particular instrument because we were supposed to give it to him.
Right.
Now, why do I say that? We knew on the temple walls in China, we knew at the hermetic materials, we got several materials, we knew we was going to go into slavery, we knew we was going to deteriorate, we knew all of that. When we got into slavery, if we didn't preserve the knowledge through somebody, when we came out of there wouldn't be no knowledge for us to get. So in so many words, we were advanced to oversee this even by using them. You see what I'm saying? So as a result, they cultivated the information we give them. They use it for themselves. As of them using for themselves, they do good by the information. So therefore, they put it in books, and we are able to go and retrieve the information and return it back to ours. You got to look at a bigger picture. We always look at shit from a traumatic aspect of how we are wounded. And we can't think beyond our own personal wounds to try to look at a bigger picture on how this shit is. So we say, how did we fall? We don't know history. We didn't fall. We ruled for millions of years. Millions. Hell, the Egyptians plotted the goddamn stars for 40,000 years and didn't even tell nobody. Now, this is only 200 years old and it's on the decline.
He talks about the New World Order. His New World Order started 6,000 years ago. It's almost over.
You know, his New World Order, even that's some what you call it. It didn't start 6,000 years ago. The white man was a caveman.
That's right. No, well, true. But when he came out,
even when he came out and stuff. Even when he came out and stuff. Remember now, they didn't even rule Africa till the late 1800s, man. Wait a minute, hold on. You got to get out of the emotional shit and you got to listen to history. Africa didn't even fall until the late 1800s. Come on, man, you gotta read history. Don't be going by quotes that you done heard some shit that we did when we didn't have no knowledge. Africa didn't even fall until the late 1800s. You see what I'm saying? You know, so that whole concept, you gotta look at a global aspect of that type thing. 6,000 years ago, hell, we was on top. You see what I'm saying?
We had nuclear reactors in Iraq and all those stuff for 6,000 years.
You see, hell, if he ruled for 6,000 years, he'd be more advanced than he is now. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, he wouldn't have to lie, say he went to the moon and didn't go.
So he didn't go to the moon then?
Hell no.
So what about when they said they went to Mars?
They ain't went no place. Look, sister, you ever heard of a white man going somewhere and not returning? Hell, if he went to the moon, there'd be a McDonald's on the moon now.
For sure. But there's no oxygen up there.
They didn't go. That's all bullshit, man. But,
that's one of the things. That's one of the things that.
You never heard that
like in school, like they don't really be teaching too much. You know what I'm saying? Like what you was just saying, as how we moved and how like we had like so much like knowledge.
Well, naturally not gonna
with medicine, like civilized.
They're not gonna teach it because they the fucking oppressor. They don't. How the hell that whole oppressor gonna teach you something?
But on the flip side of that same coin, that's why a lot of us, it's like, and I'm in that. A lot of us are stuck in like in a lot of pain or whatever because like we only see like the fucked up shit. You know what I'm saying? See, motherfuckers sugarcoat shit, but I keep it real. I'm from right there on 118 Manhattan Ave. It's fucked up around here. You know what I'm saying? So it's fucked up everywhere in Atlanta too. It's fucked up. But what I'm saying is, but this is what I'm saying. A lot of the shit that we only see is only fucked up. That's why we only relate and we only see.
Oh, yeah.
Like
I'm still saying.
It's like you come with the knowledge. That's why dude's gonna be like, yeah, I'm feeling that. And I ain't one of them emotional type cats. I'm gonna get the knowledge. I'm gonna soak this up. Because this is a blessing for you to be here, B. Keep it funky.
Yeah.
Bobby.
Any questions? Well, yeah.
Different, hold on. Anybody different, man?
Yeah, you go, brother. What's that?
One question. I'm next after him. I never asked no question.
I'm in college, but what do you have to say about black
Huh?
What do you have to say about black men like getting college education and all that?
The nigga factory.
What I say? What?
In college. He said I'm in college. I might say.
No. No. What I'm trying to do to you is try to understand this. But what I say about college education, about you asking me.
Should I get a college education?
Yes, but understand the difference between a college training and a college education.
That's right.
You cannot get a college education. You can get a college training. There's a difference. An education, that's the difference. You go get trained for a particular course for a particular career. Understand the difference. A college education, you can only educate yourself by having access to the materials that you want and need to learn. You see what I'm saying? So understand the difference about being trained. I was college trained. All the stuff that I'm giving you right now, I got after college, and I stayed in that motherfucker for 8 years and didn't learn nothing. But I was trained in my particular field without my degree that was going to be my career. So there's a difference between a college. College education is not allowed to the masses. College training, they might call it an educational system. Even Gandhi said, Western education, that would be a good idea. As to say, you don't have no education. So there's a training. You see what I'm saying? There's a training. And then more it's a rote learning. You pass tests to get to the next level that they want you to get to. But the only way you can educate yourself is true education, and that's a lifelong process. So you can't get an education in 4 fucking years because it's a lifelong process. You see what I'm saying? I've been studying for the last 15 years and I still study. Didn't even hit the zone until fucking damn 10 years after doing that. You see what I'm saying? So it's a lifelong study. That's what we're just saying. Just don't be confused about a training. That's how they confuse a lot of our people, by thinking that they're educated, and then and most people, once they become trained, all avenues of education cease. They don't study nothing else after that, because somebody has conferred upon them this degree, and now all of a sudden they say, okay, I'm educated. That's a trick.
That's real.
You're supposed to study from the cradle to the grave.
In the nutshell. In the nutshell.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this supposed to be good.
Can you tell me where the Chinese came from?
Or the Chinese? Two aspects. That indigenous land was black people.
China. That's what I asked you.
So if there is a part, it's a part of climate adaptability, or a mixture with Indo-Europeans or whatever that came in and drove those particular. indigenous black people off the land, but some of them climate adapted. They have a history of several variations of things. Some of it is some genetic shit, some of it is climate adaptability, and some of it is, to this day, they sequester blue black people to live over there to this day.
They live over there?
Yeah.
In China?
In China.
Are they a mix of black and white?
Huh?
Are they a mix? Are they mulattoes?
No.
Partially, you could say some of the history of that. Some of it is climate adaptability also. Let me tell you another thing also, too. The National Geographic had a map that they did in the 60s. And every phenotype, which is the facial features of every race on this planet, they could trace to different tribes in Africa. They got a tribe in Africa that look just like the Asians.
That's right.
And so you can see that these are some people that migrated to a certain place, and even though they might have lightened up based on climate adaptability, that's a part of the origin of where they came from and stuff like that. So that's the thing about this too, about Africa. We keep thinking that Africa is fundamentally West African phenotype, and it's not true.
Right.
We have different phenotypes. Hell, the South African is lighter than the West African.
That's right. That's right.
So there's different phenotypes. And we have more than one West African prototype, phenotype structure. So we can see these phenotypes that can migrate around the world, and we can think these that's indigenous to that origin of that race. No, you can trace that shit back to Africa.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
observed, it's an observation I've made maybe like 5 years ago, that there seems to be some like leprosy, plaguing people.
Right.
It was, to me, from my observation, it started slowly, but at this point in time, there seems to be an acceleration.
It's good that you would bring that, because I'm seeing more and more people with this quote-unquote vitiligo or this leprosy. I'm seeing more and more black people, like you saying, walking around with that.
Yeah, so what's the...
I don't know whether it's diet. It could be from the chemtrails. The chemtrails. It can be a combination of things. It could be a combination of things, but you are right. I'm seeing more and more, and I think that's something that we should research more.
Yes, sir.
Because I'm seeing a lot of that. More and more than I've seen 10 years ago. There's a lot of people walking around with this and stuff like that now, Yeah. What's that? And then what's it?
Bobby, I just want to ask you a question. I'm dealing with this brother. And one of the things you to ask me, I have a problem that we're creatures, or humans, we're supposed to be in the ever striving for knowledge, right? And sometimes, my problem, I'm going to ask you if you think I'm correct. Sometimes we all get, I'm 5%. But even the lessons, I look at the lesson and I cross-reference it and I get the information. I don't just take it on face value.
So what's the...
My question is why do our people always assume that just because somebody who they think gave them the right information, they don't build on that and search that information out?
Right, let me tell you where that came from. Where that came from.
Too often we deal with we are sectarian people. And it also comes down to people just being comfortable. A lot of times people are too lazy to research. So they would rather level new income and knowledge that would further us in this evolution of new light of understanding, because they're too lazy to research. That's one aspect of it. You see what I'm saying? Another aspect of that is that we're trained to not accept change. We hate change. Why is that? Because remember now, post-traumatic slavery is dealing with, let us make a slave, is really let us make a child. Only thing you got to do, if you want to study the mind of black people and find out how we function, and say, what makes them tick this way? They're so fucked up. All you got to do is study the mind and the habits of children. Children don't like to study.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? They like to shirk responsibility. They like to play all the time. We like entertainment. Children like entertainment. So half the time I got to go speak knowledge to people, I got to entertain to get it across. That's a child is that type of way. You see what I'm saying? We're very petty. Children are very jealous. This is my toy. So when you look at, so let us make a slave was to make a permanent child, pathological grown-up child at large. And children don't like change. You see what I'm saying? Don't like change. You see what I'm saying? So it's so it's more than just a systematic thing. Basically, they do humanize you. We're perpetual 10-year-olds. You see what I'm saying? And so just about every last one of our pathologies you can find in the realm of childhood. That's okay for a child because it's supposed to be evolved beyond that. But that's savage for black people or grown people. And they're like children like people. You see what I'm saying? They're a childlike people. That is a science that was put on us to reduce us to a childlike people. You see what I'm saying? That's why we accept, children will accept what you give them. That's why we accept what the greater community give us. You see what I'm saying? So that has a lot to do with it. This brother here, yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
Well, you were just talking about genetics, and I have a question because recently I know scientists have discovered that the ancient Greeks were actually, they traced their genetic roots to sub-Saharan Africa.
Yes, they are black.
And that, you know, have you read The Black Athena?
Yeah.
By Martin Bernard?
Yeah.
And now he has a critic that's out here. Her name is Lefkowitz.
Yeah, right. Mary Lefkowitz, yeah. Yeah.
Right. So I want to know what you feel about that now that these.
Two things. I've done a study. The Greeks. No. It's even more than just the text of the Greeks and the philosophy of the Greeks is black. The Greeks themselves were black. Listen to me. Even the patron goddess Athena comes from Libya. She's also known as the goddess Neith. If you trace most of their gods, you can trace them back to Kemet. Do you know, as of 1988, that 75% of Greek culture has sickle cell trait? That means they're African in origin. And now, how did they become white? A lot of that happened within the last 100 years. They went in the late 1800s. They destroyed a lot of the black statues, and a lot of the statues you see that's erected were only made in the late 1800s. That's why they don't look ruined, a lot of them. That's a contrived history. As a matter of fact, the Discovery Channel reported that they fished a 50-foot statue out of the Aegean Sea of Zeus, and some museum in Ohio bought it for $10 million. When they carbon dated it, it was 1970. So they falsified his history as to the date. They still do it. They got a channel called, I call it the White History Channel. It's the History Channel, and ain't shit on there, but it should be called a World War II channel. Every time I turn the motherfucker on, it's some old World War, some tanks running down the shit. But it's completely a falsification of history with the A&E, the White History Channel, all of those cable channels where they're showing history is just to further white supremacy. That's right. Never show nothing black. You see? Yeah. What's that?
I wanted to ask you about dreams.
Yeah.
How can I make my dreams vivid, more vivid?
Several things. You could put water under your bed.
That's right.
You could take, if you got any electronics in your room, like TV, VCR, you take them out of your room because the ELF waves, electromagnetic fields, those things interfere with your dreams and it fucks with the pineal gland.
What about putting the plug?
I'm just saying, take it, well, yeah, unplug it.
That's right.
Unplug all that.
What about taking zinc?
Well, there's all types of things. Get off fluoride.
That's right.
That interferes with the pineal gland in dreams. You know, and take either some safe sleep aid like the Unisom, that shit works, or some valerian root or something like that.
Yes. That's right.
You see what I'm saying? If you want to go to health thing, and jack in that type of way, you see. So there's several ways you can do it. Then you can program your dreams by saying, I'm going to dream about this, and you tell your subconscious mind. One way to do it is you say, I'm going to dream about this, and I'm going to be aware of my dreams when I go to sleep. So you can program certain things. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, what's that? Uh-huh.
I have a question. As far as death is concerned.
Yeah.
As far as death is concerned, when you die, let's say, you know, somebody was to die, right?
Yeah.
The morgue would come get him.
Right.
And take him away.
Yeah.
Now, I believe that energy can't be created or destroyed. So when
Yeah.
you die, it's a transmutation. You just go on to the next.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is that when they pick you up and take you and do all, you know, everything they do to you, embalm you and everything.
Right.
Is anything that they do to you that hinders that process
No.
of transformation to the other side?
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Death is the ultimate key, and basically, no, they can't stop that particular aspect. That particular aspect. Each person's soul is its own universe, so it's already intact. That other side. Fall in love with death. Death is the ultimate key. The reason why you are slaves is because the simple fact that you've been made afraid of death. Death is good. Anytime a motherfucker die, you should applaud that shit.
That's right.
Death should be celebrated.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? So all the brothers and sisters that died, that's good.
Great release.
They say, the ancient Egyptians say that death is like a bird. The death to the soul is like a bird that was captured in a cage and then released from the cage. That's how your soul feels when you get the fuck up out of this
That's right.
piece of shit right here you call a body.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, well, go ahead.
Could you speak more about in death when you die, the melanin, after in your state of your resurrection? Do you know more about how melanin and resurrection of spirit?
It says the Egyptians talk about the soul carries with it a shadow. Anytime you hear the word shadow, that's called melanin. The ka, that's a form of the melanin. The ba is the soul. The shadow, it's a melanin. The soul carries, the mystery here is the soul is a particle of light. You take a match and you strike a match and you put it up against this white paper, you'll see soot come off. The soot is the melanin. That spark itself produces the melanin. So when you die, that shadow follows the soul. The soul is producing that shadow. So that's why you don't reincarnate in nothing but coming back black. Because the shadow goes to a shadow, it goes to energies that's like its own property.
So you would say even in death,
Yeah.
melanin gets stronger in death.
Yes, melanin is the shadow, the journey to the shadow realm. There's a movie called Bram Stoker's Shadow Builders that deals with that whole melanin, and that's what you see when you see the spook and the different stuff like that. Yes, yeah.
Bobby, now that we dealing with the Egyptians a little bit, Bobby, can you expound a little bit on what the Egyptians allegedly used as anatomic gold dust? The reason why I bring it up is because I read an article in the Nexus magazine.
Right, yeah.
And what I did, I remember watching the movie Indiana Jones.
Right.
When the German boys opened up that Ark of the Covenant, and the white boy put his hand in there, and he was, what did he have in his hand? Was that the anatomic gold?
What they call,
was that it?
Look, what this thing here is alchemical representation. That is nothing but another form of melanin. Monatomic, anatomic gold is nothing but another form of melanin. You ever hear the word stardust?
Yes.
That's melanin. It's called techim. Techim in Egypt, heavy star material. All that is melanin. All that is melanin.
Cosmos is melanin.
Yeah, all that is melanin.
All right, because that article, I found that article kind of interesting, that white boy brought about.
Yeah.
And it just took me back to the movie.
Yeah, yeah. All that is the alchem. That is the theatrical representation of what happened. The Ark of the Covenant is in actuality nothing but the concept of the brain and all of that type of thing.
Brother Bob,
yeah.
She said she feel offended that you talked about melanin and they don't have melanin. Look at it.
Turn them back, excuse me.
What? Did she say? Wait a minute.
She's crying because she said you're talking about melanin. Black man. You got to include her.
Black brother.
Well,
dietary melanin we talking.
Oh, chill. A minute.
Wait a minute. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, brother. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Yeah,
Well,
you're talking about melanin and you ain't include her like she wasn't a part of our family.
oh, she said she just want to listen. Yeah. Well, you know, I'm just saying. Yeah.
What is her role in the post-traumatic slave syndrome?
What?
What is the white woman's role in the post-traumatic slave syndrome?
That's a good question.
Okay. Good question.
That's the question. Good question.
Good. Okay.
What is the white woman's role in the post-traumatic slave syndrome?
Okay. Historically.
Come on with it, Bobby.
Historically. Now try to understand this in the psychological sense of the word. Some people say, you know, it would be great if we could live in this society where, you know, people do what they want to do, and ultimately people can do what the fuck they want to do. You know what I'm saying? And me personally, I'm really not into, I really don't get offended no more or whatever if somebody go off and marry someone. Well, people do what they want to do. We got a mass culture here. But try to understand the concept on what's going on here based on post-traumatic syndrome. And especially the offspring and the children. Now, we counted 80% of Hollywood that intermarry. But we count less than 2% of white Hollywood that marries outside of the race.
That's right.
That is because, based on psychological value of the Hollywood image, they are taught that, look, Tom Cruise, you can screw who the fuck you want. But if you're talking about the projection of a survival of a certain image to your children, you need to marry your species half. You see what I'm saying? So I don't blame white folks that 2%, I'm talking about 1% of Hollywood, majority of them marry their own people. Because they understand the imagery. Now here on the other hand, we have 80% that don't. Now what does this say to the child? Well, look, all the people that I admire is somehow jumping and marrying outside the race, and subconsciously, what the fuck is wrong with the black woman? You see what I'm saying? When she is not even considered the standard of beauty with her beautiful prototypical West African features half the time. So you got to look at the post-traumatic syndrome of a psychological aspect so bad until you can get a white girl in the projects in a goddamn wheelchair can pull more goddamn niggas than you.
That's right, Bob.
So some things are not just idealism. Some things are reality. And we live with that reality.
Yes, sir.
You understand what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So it's well and fine. And if you want to do what you got to, that's well and fine. But you got to understand, if it is so bad for me to say this, why is it that 90% of Hollywood white stars don't marry outside of their race?
There you go.
We got a point here just looking at the white side of these things. What do they know to say, if I'm going to be a representative on a mass level as an image, you see what I'm saying, to catapult the future of my race, that I have to be seen in unison.
That's right.
With my species half.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You understand what I'm saying? So obviously there's a science of the image. You can't say you got a healthy image of being a racial aspect of trying to look at yourself in a certain way, and every Negro we see to get cut loose from a football field is running to the white girls. You see what I'm saying? Well, you can say what you want, but now some people say, well, what about the white people in America? They are not in a deficit. They are not in trauma. We're the motherfuckers in trauma.
That's right. That's right, buddy. That's right.
Now, and it's an epidemic.
Yes, it's an epidemic.
Beyond epidemic.
Speak to the secret relationship. The secret relationship, because the hit is this. They want to be us while we're busy trying to be them.
Right. That's what, you know. So my point here is, whether we like it or not, I know for a fact, because I travel around the country, and I'm telling you, that black man is in retreat from the black woman. I don't know what the fuck he want, but he don't want your motherfucking ass. Now, that's a problem. That's a goddamn problem. You see what I'm saying? Huh? Well, that's already started, but see, that's design. That's design, but there's only one problem, though. But there's only one problem with that. And check this out. No matter how good the trend goes, that white man in mass is not going to abandon his woman. He's better than us when it comes to that shit. Now, it could be these pockets, and it could be the trend, like it's in Chicago with the club, but by and large, motherfucker ain't gonna abandon his goddamn woman. He ain't doing it. We are. You see what I'm saying? We are. So, psychologically, you can't say something. We talking and everything based on your function down here is based on your psychology. You see what I'm saying? If you don't project that, you already finished. You see, so yeah, it is a problem. And that is a part of the post-traumatic syndrome. Yeah.
So if we say that the white man is the devil, what does that make the white woman?
The devil.
Hey. Look, man.
Yo, you gotta understand where the white man come out of, man.
Oh, you know where the white man come from.
Look, yeah, what's that?
I heard the white woman say that it was only two types of individuals in shadow slavery, and that was the black man and her. You understand that? Yeah. Now I hear a lot of brothers saying they don't want black women because they got some kind of ignorance that they travel with 24/7, and plus they don't take care of their physical. You know.
Well, they must be. Well, they put it. They must be from the wrong neck of the woods. They need to come down to goddamn Atlanta. They got the finest.
Look at her.
Yeah. Look, they need to come down to Atlanta because they got some of the most beautiful women. And I've been sitting here, physical my ass. I've been sitting here for the last hour.
That's right.
And while I was talking to y'all, I wasn't even studying y'all ass.
That's right.
I've been on them goddamn honeys walking across here. How the hell you think I even stayed here this long? What you say now? What?
I said, what is the first part of what I asked?
Is about that the secret relationship? I mean, you.
No, forget about the secret. I'm saying the fact that the white woman said to me that it was only individuals in shadow slavery. Hold up, brother.
You give it. All I'm trying to say.
You know what I'm saying? The fact that she said that the black man and her were the only ones actually in slavery, shadow slavery.
That particular information, so that's you asking me to say something about information you're given. I'm unaware of that. I'm quite sure that I've heard certain things to say that I've even heard certain things to go to the fact that the only two free people in this country is the black woman and the white man. I've heard some stuff like that before. You know what I'm saying, and all this type of thing here, you know. Yeah, you know, but I don't see how the black woman wasn't in slavery, you know, so I mean, maybe you can expound on that based on what she said. I'm unfamiliar with it. It's just, you know.
Questions. Is there a problem with her attitude? That's what I'm asking you, brother. Is there a problem with the black woman's
Hell yeah, there's a problem with that.
Look, you know what? Look, let me explain something to you. Now, let me explain something to you. Okay. All right. Okay. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. You know what, man? Let me explain. Okay, then. Okay. Well, let me address that. Well, okay. No, wait a minute. Hold on. First of all, hold on. No, back up. Wait a minute. Hold on. First of all, motherfuckers is seeing me, so y'all need to shut the fuck up. All right, let me address this. Now, we're just dealing with deductive logic and reasoning here.
That's right.
Whatever pathologies we both have, black man or black woman, is not indigenous to us. Same bug bit her, bit us. Now, that means that certain sisters got issues with black men, certain black men got issues with black women. The problem here is It's a gender thing on why we don't see eye to eye on a certain amount of things. The point I'm trying to make here is, as oppressed people, we are not to sit here and debate on who's more oppressed than other. Oppression is oppression. Bottom goddamn line. They just announced last week that the #1 recipient of AIDS in the community is the black woman. That means that she's slated for genocide. So whether we get into this argument alone, the powers that be are clear on one damn thing. We need to be divided. So my point here is this. I do know this about sisters. I know this about sisters that's innate. They're looking for love. There's a difference. Sometimes you can fall short, but I'm saying, and love comes with communication.
Yes, sir.
A lot of times, we fail to express our true heart. You get them on, I'm telling you about some sisters, I know what I'm talking about.
That's the truth, brother.
If you express your true heart, not some shit that is fictitious about the man's role or the woman's role, that's given to you by some old jive-ass religions that didn't even exist before 2,000 years ago. Right. But if you express and come clean out of this you supposed to do this and this gender shit, or these things, and you express your true heart, you will find out that it breaks through all that bullshit, and a lot of times that's what they need is love. On the other hand, that's the same thing that some of the sisters got to do.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? To admit that in actuality we are in a form of warfare, and we can't sit up here and every time somebody make a mistake, we point and say that's the same thing. You niggas ain't this and this type thing. That's divide and conquer. You see what I'm saying? So I'm quite sure, as a humane people, this shouldn't even be discussed on the reason why we don't get along. We know that this thing is contrived because we know one thing we got that more than anything that we know of anything. We weren't this way when we first came here.
That's right.
So out of all the shit we got, if we want to say a solution, we say, well, obviously what humans have done, humans can do. So that means the capacity to do what you want, you still got it because goddamn you didn't come here, nigga.
That's right.
That's right.
So on that particular level, we can't get into this thing about what you call it because yes. Now my point here is this here, the example is this. We need to separate ourselves from what the dead people think and what the learned people think.
There you go.
Now what the learned people think, you as a brother or anybody else supposed to automatically know, well, these are things that was designed to us based on post-traumatic slavery syndrome.
That's right, artificial programming.
Or post-servitude black insanity.
That's right, artificial programming.
So we should know these things as a learned person, and so therefore that shouldn't be the criteria. Now dead people, you can have countless examples of how they are and stuff, but that's what they are. They're destroyed for a lack of knowledge. They're ignorant. Which means you're talking about people that's walking around just completely asleep. Like the movie They Live say, we have been taken over by an artificial intelligence that resembles sleep.
That's right.
So you can't base your model based on a dead person because they're asleep. Right. But we're talking about the people that's got some simulation of consciousness on whatever level. Then it's no excuse. You see, it's no excuse. It is possible. I just re-entered into a new relationship, and guess what? Me and the babe don't even argue. And I'm a person that like to argue. So I know the shit can be done. We don't even have no arguments. You see? So we shouldn't be giving no dissension based on ignorance.
Is this the reason why that we have so much a rise in homosexuality and black men and black women? We have such a rise in homosexuality.
Look, what you're dealing with here is a postmodern society that you're going to have that in this culture. You understand what I'm saying? This is a postmodern society. You're going to have this in that culture. I still have these CDs, the Bobby Hemmett CDs, some of you want to get for $10 or whatever the deal here is. You know, yeah. But a post-traumatic, what you call it? So post-traumatic syndrome, post-slavery traumatic syndrome. And I'll give you some questions.
Who got questions? Anybody?
Give me some questions.
Oh, well, the question was, about this rise in gay and lesbian relationships you see with black youth today.
Is that related to post-traumatic slave syndrome? The rise.
No, because we didn't have that. we've always had post-traumatic slave syndrome since 1865. Right. No, this is something new that is being input into the culture that we live in now. Right. Right. It's a culture gone bad. You see what I'm saying? It's not even just bad for black people, it's bad for white folks. Right. You see what I'm saying? Hell, I met a white girl saying she had to take her children out of the school because they was dumb as shit, they was dumbed down, they was like zombies. As soon as she took them out of the school, she started seeing their intelligence come back. So this is the design, you know, period, on this culture. You see, yeah. Give me some questions.
Any questions, anybody?
What's that?
Hold up. Anybody else? Anybody new? Questions?
Anybody questions? Questions?
I got a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
With the Egyptians, right?
Yeah.
I look at some of the documentaries that Europeans do on the Egyptians.
Yeah.
Okay. I look at the tombs. They say, okay, well, these Egyptians left such and such as, you know, whatever for the afterlife. It could be seeds, it could be metals, it could be stones.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
What did the Egyptian, when the Egyptian placed those things there, those offerings for the afterlife?
Right.
What did they actually think was going to take place? How can, as a dead person or being, how can you interact with the offerings?
What they were doing was this here's a science. Number one, most of the time when they did that, not all the Egyptians was buried with all that stuff. It was either the learned Egyptians or the royal Kamites. So they understood sometime when you die, you don't know who you are. You're lost. And somehow if they could take a simulation of what they had in this world, they could still keep the same thought process and evolve on where they was trying to go. So it was a marker or a sign to keep a certain amount of consciousness where they was going. But it wasn't the masses of the Egyptians. Most of the Egyptians was just buried, you know what I'm saying? And some of them in the regular grave site didn't even have caskets, tombs and stuff, yeah. What's that?
What are we to expect on esoteric level in this couple of months?
As always, on the esoteric level, things are changing. Just remember, the masses is this. When you're looking out here in the sky and you're looking at all the things that happen in this realm, you're going to be disenfranchised. A lot of the things that's going to go on is going to go on the inner body, on the inside of you. That's one of the keys. A lot of those are going to go on the inside of you. So that's what's happening. We are changing as we speak. You see what I'm saying? So that's some things. Just focus on the inner body and the consciousness on that level. What's that?
So what do you think? They say that the plan is 2005 to get ready to reinstitute the draft. So what's going to be the reaction of black people all over America when this comes down on them?
They're going to go on, black people in America, they're going to go and fight and do everything that white man tell them to do.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? They're going to go and do whatever that cracker got up for them, that's what they're going to do.
One question.
Yeah.
100 times worse.
Well, it don't matter. That's, you don't worry about the masses. Discount them. They're going to do what the greater society tell them to do. And you can't worry about that. What's that? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what do white men say when they go to the space and they see UFO? Is that true?
Okay, two aspects of the UFO thing. Any physical UFO that abducts people is government. We have vessels, they are not physical. They're spiritual, they're not physical. Any UFOs you have that abduct people physically, that's all by the government. Number one, they fuck up because they only abduct white folks. You see what I'm saying? Those are fake. We have spiritual vessels, but they're spiritual. Why the hell would we, you know what I'm saying, travel in a tin can somewhere? And why the hell, if they was physical, why we haven't seen them? We the people. So that's all fake. Yeah, that's all fake.
So there's spiritual...
It's spiritual. They are spiritual vessels.
Highly advanced,
huh?
Highly advanced.
Yeah, and they have a lot to do with your inner self, too. Yeah, it has we're connected with it. Give me some questions, huh?
What about the Fahrenheit movie that's out? What do you think about the fact that
I think it's good for the mere fact that they are forced to even put a movie out like that. It's great because it means the society is in real serious trouble. On the other hand, if they didn't want that movie to come out, he would have been dead. So anything that come in that theater is sanctioned by the government. You just don't put nothing out like that. You know, hell. So in so many words, it's good because they're trying to do something because they're running scared. So that's great for the mere fact we got that to come out. You see what I'm saying? But, you know, but he's doing this falsehood to think that, that there's a two-party system. That still got you in mind control to think that the Democrats are different than the Republicans. That's right. And Bush is going to be different than Kerry, his goddamn cousin. And his skull and bones brother. What's that?
I have a question off that subject. So Netta said that man created God. I was wondering if you could shed some light on that.
Man created God.
That's what Netta said.
In so many words, what this also means is this. In the beginning, there was Gaia, which is the great mother, Torturous, which is considered the inner earth, but the earth itself. Before there was even a heaven, there was an earth. Now, whether it was physical, that's a different thing. So in so many words, if you read the ancient texts, the Numa Elish and the different texts, we were always here. We just wasn't in the physical state. So that probably what they talk about, because the messenger used to talk about that some, but we were always here, and all the texts indicate that our origin was prior to this creation. They say our world is built off of several other primal worlds that existed before it. In those primal worlds, we are the Titans.
That's right, come on.
And the entities that ruled the known universe for the last couple of thousand or million years were our children. We took a hiatus and became in the physical. The physical entities used to rule prior to the entities that are in the that so-called reside in the universe now. It's just a matter of a principality shifting. What's that?
The black statue they found in Egypt?
Huh?
The black statue they found in Egypt pointing that our ancestors came from outer space. That ties into
A part of that, yes. That's a part of it, yeah. Yeah. That's a part of it. What's that?
Yeah, my brother. I want you to talk more, enlighten us more about the reptilian race.
All that's garbage from damn
Thank you.
All that's garbage. And David Icke and all that's bullshit.
David Icke, that's just crap.
There ain't no snake people, no reptilian race, all that's bullshit. If it was, motherfucker, you could see it. What it is the reptilian is a code word for the spinal column and the kundalini energy. We are the reptilians, the ones who have full access to the kundalini energy. There ain't no reptilian race and all that bullshit. That's all David Icke, Zachariah Sitchin, and Dr. York with his writers that they got writers that put those books together for him, and they selected that garbage.
All right, the sister got a question.
Yeah.
Hi, Bobby. How do you feel about the Hebrew Israelites building a temple? Building
The pyramids.
No, Hebrews didn't build no damn pyramids. I mean, the average, history don't even support that dumb shit. History don't even support that. The last temple was built.
700 years before the first Jew.
Yeah, 700 years or something like that, 700 or 800 years before, quote unquote, Abraham. And there is no, and see, this is the dumb part about it. Those patriarchs, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, those are never people that lived.
That's right, there you go. There you go.
Abraham, if you go to India, is Brahma.
That's right.
Take the word Brahma, descramble it, you get Abraham. In Egypt, you get Abra.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? Jacob. No, they ain't built no damn pyramids. What kind of ignorant shit is that? The pyramids were, there was no such thing as no damn Hebrews when the fucking pyramids was even built.
That's right. Thank you.
You see what I'm saying?
Hold up, that don't...
You see what I'm saying? How the hell you gonna have an existence of that? You didn't even have a damn doctrine
There you go.
of some Hebrew Israelite. That's garbage. You don't.
Bobby, are the Orishas our children?
Huh?
The Orishas.
The Orishas, yes.
African gods.
Yes. You see, Elegba and them are slated for creating the earth. They created the physical earth. They created it out of something, the primordial substance that is inside of us. You just got to get, there's other texts you can get. There's other texts you can get based on that whole creation myth. The Olympian realm, the Orisha realm is the same as the Olympian realm in Greece, or the Deva realm in India, Devashanic plane. That came after the Asura realm, or the Titan realm, you see what I'm saying, or the Titan realm, which was overthrown and became humans. You see. Yeah, the physical bodies. But what they didn't tell you, that inside of the physical bodies was an older origin of entities, which is inside of us. They are our children. I don't know, you know, who cares? You know, it's not important. I don't even want to even consider her, you know, and just eating and stuff like that. Yeah, you know. That ain't, look, man, you see, even sometimes that disrupt us. Let me tell you how that disrupt us. We giving her power by her crying, and we even addressing that. That meant that in actuality, all these people we come to talk to about some stuff, all of a sudden now you're going to pause and give some power because the person going to let her cry. We ain't giving that no power. That let us know, right? You know, yeah, what's that?
Is there any truth to this inner planet? Is there an inner world in this physical planet?
No, the inner world is on the inside of us. The inner world exists on the inside of us. You see what I'm saying? As far as the inside of the planet, the underworld, they were talking about the deep part of the subconscious mind. It's inside of us. You know. Yeah.
I want to try to understand. If the masses are not going to do anything, right?
Right.
The Moors were builders.
Right.
The Moors were builders. I mean, we had bathhouses and libraries and universities. We built all of this.
Yeah.
All right? So if you say that the masses are not going to do anything, please help me to understand. Then what is going to happen? I mean, is it just a few of us that's going to get it right?
All right, look, check it out. You're looking at this based on physical. Now understand evolution. You were once a child. Then you became a teenager. Then you became an adult. A caterpillar is a caterpillar. It goes into a cocoon. It doesn't go into a cocoon to become a caterpillar. It goes into a cocoon to become a butterfly. We have been there, done that when it comes to civilization. Now it is time to metamorphosize into something different. We're not going to have a return back to humanity. We're leaving humanity. Humanity is over. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. So we're not going back. There's a reason why we don't rule. We don't rule because that part of our doggone existence is over. We are in a laggard period because we're getting ready to go to a new metamorphosize into a new entity. So we're not going back to a human state. We're not going to go back and rule in Africa. Black people are not going to get it together. They're not supposed to get it together. Been there, done that. Now it's time for the next phase into evolution. Now this is all what your texts say. Because we're supposed to go beyond human. It's fundamental. You did the human stage for millions of years. Now you're in the intermission. Now you're in the intermission. You're not going back to the human stage. You're metamorphosizing into another state. This is fundamental in Egyptian mythology. There is no text, because we left all this behind. They said we was going to go back to being humans.
Wait, no, go ahead.
Yeah.
Bobby.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I got one. Hold on, black man.
Yeah.
Tell me what you think about these mind-controlled government agents such as T.D. Jakes, Creflo Dollar, and the rest of these televangelists with this nonsense, keeping our people deaf, dumb, and blind.
No, listen. They are there because our people put them there. They're there representing the dead.
Right.
Let the dead lie with the dead.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So my point here is the masses are going to go through every ailment there is. You can't be worrying about that, because if we keep worrying about the trouble that the masses are in, we never cultivate anything among ourselves to get to the higher level in which the masses going to be a part of. Because ultimately, all this shit got to be destroyed. You see what I'm saying? So T.D. Jakes is just a part of the same society, you see what I'm saying, that the masses are the same people. You see what I'm saying? He's only a manifestation of their ignorance.
So you have a question for me?
Yeah.
So are you telling me I'm the devil just because of the skin I was born in?
Look.
Yes.
Look. Okay, I'm gonna use this from whether she's the devil based on the skin she's born in. I'm not gonna use it from a religious standpoint of view, because just like the African that stood before the table said, you know, you deal with the whole religious thing and all, and you throw people off.
Yes, sir.
But what we're saying is this, based on historically, and if you get into your learned white people, they bear witness to this, that historically, you were going around the planet and enslaved and raped and pillaged and killed to this particular day, and you suffer, and this is in the masses of you. Now, this is one that is in the collective of white. You suffer from a superiority complex, and I don't see why wouldn't you. Everything you see, every image you see is of white folks. You see what I'm saying? So now, on that particular aspect of the religious aspect and all, I will say, based on the metaphysical aspect, based on the Kabbalah, they say the intruder, which means that was a person that wasn't there in the beginning, that now is intruding and causing an incontinuance to learning because they cause luxury. That's the capitalistic society. So like I say, is this here. As an individual, as an individual, it doesn't really matter, but as a collective, that's what we deal with. Because personally, be honest with you, you personally don't have no effect on me. You can't really do anything to me.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? So to be grown up about this individually, it doesn't even really matter. But we talking about collectively, you benefit from a system and a society, you understand what I'm saying, that collectively, not just black people, but all indigenous people. We're just going back, look, you just had a man that died recently.
I can't argue.
Right, you just had a man that died recently. What's your boy, the actor that just died? Marlon Brando. And what did he say when he sent that Native American woman to the Academy Award? She say, you all look and you would think that the Native Americans happen on another planet somewhere or another continent. You go about talking about this freedom thing and you massacred millions of people. Let me show. So my point here, historically, you figure it out. Let me give you an example. They came to San Francisco. Now, they had already broke all the treaties. They pushed them from the middle of the country. Their last stand was San Francisco. In 3 years, they had 60 million Native Americans. And when they got through in 3 years, they had 20.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
So we talking about people that's massacring 50. They massacred 80 million buffaloes just so the Native Americans couldn't eat. So historically, it's not even an argument. My point here is, if you get off of just the whole thing based on the biological thing and just deal with the principalities of mindsets. You see what I'm saying? The mindset. You benefit from a culture that exacerbates and fosters this shit to this day. You see what I'm saying?
No, privilege creates blindness. It creates selfishness, and I absolutely agree.
You see what I'm saying? So, you see, my point is, and so, now, and so my point here is, and guess what? Believe it or not, I'm not talking today based on the stuff that you've done in the past. I'm giving you concept of what shit is going on right now on a global level. On a global level. You see what I'm saying? So my point here is on that particular level. So I try to, because, you know, yes, you got Sarnetta that will tell you how he feels, and you can come in any Saturday and he'll get on your ass.
That's right. Oh,
yeah. You know. So my rendition is to take it from another point of view, so you can leave this, what you call it, understanding that we're not just here personally saying these things because we're upset what you did with us in the past. We're talking about globally on some things that's actually going on personally, on some things that's going on. You see what I'm saying? So it's on that particular level. You know, I say it that way, you know.
What I wanted to say is that if you alienate people, like, I agree with you. Yeah. I completely agree with you.
You feel no frat, baby, you don't even have to worry about this thing. Let me tell you. You ain't got to worry about this. This is no, I'm gonna tell you, this is, no, let me tell you the fear that white people go around with. Just listen to what I'm trying to say. There's nothing I'm gonna say to these people that's gonna turn them against white folks. With my little 1 or 2 hours of saying this, when you all have blatantly done things for years and they still love you. And the bottom line is, you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about it. That's not our nature. Black people will never be haters and never will. No matter how much we espouse that stuff, first of all, in order for us to be racist, you got to have a power to even to impose racism. So you really don't have to worry about this type thing on a person's views. Be honest with you, our people love you. So therefore, when you get a brother up here that's telling you what time it is, you should actually champion that. Because most black people you gonna go around, they're gonna be skinning and grinning, and they're gonna well, good then.
Yo, let her know Negroes love her.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yes.
You have no control over it because you don't control the system.
Right.
You just caught up in it. The real folks are going to stand and grin.
No, but you know what, like Francis Cress Welsing say, if you really want to not be alienated, tell us what you say when we ain't around.
I will.
That's what I'm saying. Don't, now, because you can't come up here and tell me that when we are not around, white people sit around and they don't say shit about us. We know fucking white folks. And we know that in society is based on that.
You may think you know white folks, you don't know me.
I'm not talking about you. I'm saying if you saying you don't want to be, if you want to be an aide, you want to be an aide, tell us what you talk about when we ain't around, because we don't get that side. So obviously there's some, you know what I'm saying, if you really into this type of thing. I know, I'm just trying to say here is, my point here is ultimately, you still gonna, when it's said and gone and we gonna be away from this table, you're gonna benefit from a society that's gonna be for your rule.
I have undue privileges. Absolutely, in every step that I take down the street.
You see what I'm saying?
I apologize for every privilege I have.
And stuff like that.
Give up every privilege.
Okay, but look at here. Well, you got an opportunity right now, since you over here crying and stuff, why don't you start telling us about what these white folks be saying when we ain't around?
You can never, no matter how many tears fall from your eyes.
I'm not doing this for a show.
Listen, you can never, in many lifetimes, apologize. Listen to me, for what we have gone through. Because there's too many of you that feel different. You can never erase what has been done to us. It is embedded in our genes. No matter how many tears you sit here and cry, you will never be able to.
And don't tell me that you sitting up here right now. Don't tell me right now that you sitting up here naive to the fact of what you say when we ain't around. You still ain't saying it. It's not like you just fell out of some wonderland somewhere and stuff like that. No, come on now, you
waiting for a response.
That's what I'm trying to say. We get fooled by this shit.
When you get a balance,
we get fooled by this. They say shit when we ain't around. So I'm trying to say, if you really want to say you what you gonna tell us what they say when you ain't around.
Well, in other words, what the brother is saying is that the apology and the tears is not what we want to get from you. I know, and we want information.
Information.
If you really want to, really check it out. Wait a minute. Check it out. Hey yo, check it out. If you really want to get down, then get down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Tell us.
Tell us what's going on.
What they say.
Apology. You can't apologize.
Tell us what they say when we ain't around. And you know what? It's amazing because we never get. It's amazing because we never get that side from white folks. We live our whole lives, and none of you all ever come to the ghetto.
That's right.
And not just the ghetto, because we the richest people of the Africans. Black people in America, we consumers.
That's right. That's right.
This street showing you this right now.
Right.
But you never come to our side of the town and say, hey, guess what these people saying about you?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And it's not as if the world, I don't want to spread nothing on. You got to do is turn on the damn TV. They've been doing it in Hollywood for years. And so my point here is it's ongoing. It's ongoing. We need, and you say, well, why would you need me to validate that? Let me explain something to you. If you was to get on this video right now and tell us what white people say when we ain't around, you know how many black people you'll wake up? I could talk for 10 years and black people won't even listen to me. But if one white woman said that, so see?
So let's get
see?
Go ahead.
I wish I could tell you what white people say.
Okay, well, you know. Well,
Daddy say, what did your daddy say? What did your uncle say? What did your friends' parents say? Huh? The people in your family, their parents.
Coming down the street.
Yeah,
he said nothing.
College.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Tell them college kids what they used to say.
They may kill her.
I'm serious. Like,
what?
They may kill her.
Hold on.
Let her break it.
Like, you may think that we sit around and hate. I don't.
And nobody's saying no. No. Nobody is saying it. Maybe you don't. Maybe you don't. All I'm trying to say is, but you still live in a system. Maybe you don't, but you still live in a system. My point is, maybe you don't hate, but you still live in a system that you interface with white people every day.
Why would you give a shit what he tell her to do?
No, that ain't the reason.
It's not an easy place for me to
Don't.
We ain't gonna jump on you.
No, wait a minute, hold on. Wait a minute, hold on.
For attention or for pity or for anything. I don't, it just...
Wait a minute, hold on.
I can't help it. I'm not...
Okay, right. We understand that. Only thing, because, you know, we got, because I got other people that came to hear what we saying and stuff, you know, so.
Smoke his ass and do
Nah. Look.
John Brown did it.
You got any more questions?
I like John
Brown. No, hold on. Any more questions? Hold on.
Yeah, let's take it away.
Any more questions? Yeah.
Okay, first of all, you said something about us not ruling or leading anymore. You know, I would like to know if that's going to ever change. I would like to know if that's going to ever change, you know, because the way things are going now, you know, and the way this thing, I remember back in the days, we used to talk to each other.
Right, yeah.
We can't do that no more.
No, what I'm,
I
understand, no.
You know, I mean, I just came home, you know, and I did a lot of reading, and I read some books, you know.
Right, no.
And one of the things, I lived in Utah for a number of years. I had to take a company to the labor board because a white guy came to me and said they was calling me porch monkeys and niggas in the back.
Yeah.
I did time in prison in Utah. They had a thing. There is no deer hunting season this year due to the shortages of deer. But you can hunt porch monkeys, spooks, and chunks, and you can find them at a welfare office, a Cadillac dealer. You can't set a mine within 50 feet of a watermelon patch. This was all on black and white, and we was trying to, you know, get this taken care of. So, you know, I learned some of the things they said.
Yeah.
You know, and like I said, I just want to know why we can't get together. I see the young kids today. I mean, they look half naked. What's going on? But you said we're not going to.
No, I'm saying this here. Yes, in pockets, we can have some solidarity and some black unity and a black united front in pockets. But mass-wise, it ain't gonna happen. You got people in Alabama, Mississippi, you got a whole group of people in Northern California that don't even know they black. We're talking about a vast, you gotta understand this here, we don't live in a community. We live on a continent. Understand? And a continent means there is not a national consciousness. Consciousness exists in pockets. You understand what I'm saying? The only time you have a national consciousness is the people that control the society give you a national consciousness We're not coming together on that, but it's not made to come together on that level.
Right.
We're coming together like we are doing now, and ultimately, we going to a whole nother level. I ain't talking about the pie in the sky and milk and honey. I'm talking about we're transforming, but it's beyond the scope of what we look at on the mundane level. That's all I'm saying. There's some other greater things happening. You see, there's some other greater things happening, and that's you got to see. That's my forte. That's what I lecture on. Those other things. You got other people that will talk about those types of things and all. Yeah.
Why is it that us as black folks, because see, you know, I learned something. My daughter got a baby by a white guy.
Yeah.
I ain't feeling that at all.
Yeah.
Not that fucking over. All right.
Right.
And now, why do they say that that was the fucking past? Excuse my language. Every time them Jews talk about the Holocaust,
right,
don't nobody say a word.
That was the past.
Why is that?
Well, it's simple.
Why is that?
Well, it's simple and all. You know, they dictate on what consciousness or what type of level that they want to engage in, and it's a strategy that the Jews are trying to corner the market on suffering. You see what I'm saying? To take our birthright, because we're the people that suffer. We're the legendary people that they talk about in all scriptures of suffering. And so that goes to show you something about where we're going with this and what we'll ultimately be when somebody's trying to steal our birthright with suffering. And they are rich. We will never have what the Jews got. So that, you know, that's just the same old strategy that they always do. We understand what it is, you know, but like I say again, it's...
We got to wake up. We got to wake up.
Yeah.
That's all we got to do is wake up.
Bobby Hemmett. Nice meeting you. Yeah.
Yo, any more questions?
What about
hey, yo, man. Yo, kill that over there, man.
But we got to build a nucleus. We got to build a nucleus. And that's what we're doing.
Is it possible to tap masses?
Part of it, but be honest with you, I'm not even bullshitting around. This thing has to go with what our ancestors say to the next level. Not going back. You see what I'm saying? The only thing can help the mass of the society is the society and what they do.
So then shouldn't we talk about building the nucleus then?
We're doing that as we speak. You see, it's happening. That's called the black consciousness. You see.
Tell him to cut that crap out over there, man.
She's not breaking. Yo, they're supporting her right now.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, huh?
That's why they use all kinds of strategies. And the brothers fall right into
Well, black people?
That's what Brother Small from.
It's taking the place of melanin. Everything that you think you can get to if you tap into the melanin. You see what I'm saying? You could get if you tapped into the melanin. So it's taking the place of that type of thing.
But what effects does it have as far as altering?
Altering?
The spiritual growth.
Well, the natural products can get you altering in the aspect of good, and the other stuff is some stuff contrived by the government to shut down the consciousness. You see, you just got to find out what's natural. Like those mushrooms is some shit, you know, that really that really enhance the consciousness. Give me some more questions before I go.
Questions, come on now. Come on, let's go. One more go around. One more round. Come on, man. Yeah, Hebrew.
Yeah, whatever.
I don't have no questions, bro. I don't have no questions.
Did you ask something? You never asked something.
Yeah.
What's the take on the Ouija boards?
Oh, those are all ancient things. They work.
Yeah.
They work. Get one and, you know, communicate. They work. The Ouija board works. It's one of our sciences.
What are some good books on ritual?
There's a book called Ritual Made Easy by Patricia Telesco. Ritual Made Easy. That's a real good book. Yeah.
Talk about Dr. Ben was on Like It Is some years ago.
Yeah.
He was pointing out with Gil Noble some of the carvings and the hieroglyphs.
Yeah.
The pyramid.
Yeah.
They had carvings of helicopters.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's right. Talk about that.
Well, they do. Basically, they looked into the future.
They showed a submarine.
Oh, and they saw stuff now.
Oh, okay.
And they carved it. The Egyptians.
Oh yeah.
They looked into the future and saw stuff and carved it.
What about the hypothesis?
They were that advanced?
Yeah.
What about the hypothesis that Egyptians had electricity because there was no soot found on the ceiling?
Right. You know what they say? There's nothing new under the sun, only that which has been lost.
So then, if they had electricity, is it possible then that they had vehicles, automobiles? Before you answer that question, is it true that they don't know how, that Cracker don't know how those pyramids was built?
They don't know how the pyramids were built to this day. They will never know.
So then, could they have used automobiles?
No, they used, we do know that they had forms of alchemy that they could use, they could take stuff and make it float through alchemy. We knew they had stuff like that. That's already been proven. As far as automobiles, I mean, a lot of times they didn't need that kind of shit. They could appear on what part of the planet they want because it was advanced.
Why would they need an automobile when they're on sand? They would use sleds.
Huh?
Where did they get all that math and technology and physics?
From the inside, they were gods. They knew it. You see. It all. Yeah. Right. What's that?
I want to find out
the electromagnetic fields in Africa.
The Sahara Desert. I was told that prior to the desert, it was
yes.
a paradise here.
Yeah, it was.
What caused the desert?
What caused it? Let's put it this way. How long it's been a desert is almost an intermission compared to how long it was the fertile land. What they're not telling you is we ruled for millions of years.
Is it true that there was a nuclear war that caused it?
I don't necessarily know if it was that.
What caused it?
It could just be time, erosion. The earth, it was millions of years. It was millions. AZT in the medicine, they're killing the people.
What caused it?
AIDS. There is no AIDS. Yeah. What? What, Nancy? What? Yeah.
What post-traumatic slave syndrome is this when you see white women dressing in African garments?
Man, it's not a serious question, man. Goddamn, that ain't gonna affect shit. How the fuck does that? That's not gonna affect nothing, man. Well, that's you, man. You deal with that, man. You know, man, come on, man, now. We got to be, you know what I'm saying now?
I know.
This is not no side show, man. This ain't no side show, man. It's fashion. Hey, look. It's fashion. It doesn't matter. It's fashion, man. What you don't realize is this. A lot of the European fashion came from Africa. It doesn't matter, it's just fashion.
Yeah, she can wear that. We got on
We're wearing their clothes.
She can wear that.
At least he ain't got no pants.
He got on. Look what he got on.
Tell him, Bobby. At least he ain't got no pants. So tell him.
Yeah. Hey, no, listen. Listen, what I'm trying to say is this here. Look. It ain't no serious. That's a serious question to you. You got to deal with that, man. Because the person, look. Listen to me. Look. Look, my point is this.
He said he should be wearing that.
Some black person might be inspired when they see her with that on. Some black person might be inspired when they see her that what she got on.
She look good in it too.
Listen to me. Some black person might be inspired and normally wouldn't wear it when they see her with it on.
That's right. And she don't look bad with it either.
So I'm just trying to say, man, you know, I know that, you know, man, you know, it's, some shit is, I'm not going to address that shit, you know. That discredits me to just jump on everything come out of nigga head.
European man clothes,
man trying to talk to you and get your mind.
Yeah.
You're talking about some clothes.
Clothes, man, it doesn't matter, man. Yeah.
The minister talks about a book called Homosexuality.
I never heard of it. What it's about?
He talks about what's going on today and
I never heard of that. I heard of several other things. You know what I'm saying?
Beautiful as you are, why do you have that stuff sewn in your head?
No, wait a minute, don't do that.
You have a, why do you have
Wait a minute, hold on, wait a minute, hold on.
I just want to get raw.
Come on now, wait a minute. But you got to, no, but see, you, wait a minute, hold on. Wait a minute, hold on. Wait a minute, hold on, wait a minute, hold on. No, wait a minute, hold on, no, see, no, you don't.
So, I used to have locks. So what I
Wait a minute.
1 second.
But you're getting off the track. No, you're getting off the track. This sister has stood here. No, wait a minute now. This sister has stood here for damn near 3 hours, soaking in the stuff.
Yeah.
That's greater than any damn thing based on some hairstyle. It doesn't matter. Hell, we got people wearing dreads, this government agents.
I don't agree with that.
And that's what happened the last time, you know, we did a lot of that in the 70s.
I would say it's definitely a hairstyle.
We identified.
Goes hand in hand.
But now I understand that.
I just want to talk to you.
No, it's spirit. No. Listen to me. No. I'm gonna have to stop you. Wait a minute. Hold on. No, sister. I'm gonna have to stop you. I'm gonna have to stop you on that. I'm gonna tell you why. You gotta learn when there's some spirit shit happening, other than the apparent. You got to learn that, because you're gonna miss certain things by looking at the apparent. You got to learn when the spirit is amongst us.
Make it plain, Bobby.
You see what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to say is this here. There's a lot of people talk the talk, and they can come with all the garb on, and half them niggas is government agents. And we fell prey to that. Then you could have a sister like this, she's sitting here soaking it all in. Half the time she didn't say nothing because she was processing.
That's right.
So you got to understand the spirit aspect of things, and sometimes we got to get out of the question. Let me give you an example. I was in Philadelphia about 7 years ago. I was in Philadelphia about 7 years ago. There was a brother that was with us, very advanced consciousness, but he was from the West Coast and he didn't speak with the same black East Coast vernacular or whatever, and the people turned against him only because of his voice, because he spoke Los Angeles or he spoke a Northern California dialect. That does not indicate consciousness.
Right.
So sometimes we got to get out of what is the apparent. They say that the neophyte always looked at the apparent.
But
but you don't need it's inappropriate in the spirit of things. Because first of all, you singling her out, and that is the part based on ego. Because there's a group of people, and my point here is our people are not to be castigated. That's why some of our people reject this. They don't need people, you see what I'm saying? Our people went through trauma. They don't need people castigating them in front of people like this. You see what I'm saying?
That's when I went up for Congress, but I did more work for the black community.
But you never know, right? And that's what I'm trying to say about judging.
You had a very good reason, but I just wanted to understand.
But no. Listen, you wasn't, because you did it in front of this camera. You did it in front of this camera.
Well, I didn't.
That means it's going into the continental United States.
Let it be in front of the camera then.
No, you still not
getting. Woman hairdo sewn into her hair. I want to hear her logic about it.
Listen to me.
That's all I was trying to figure out about it.
Listen to me. Listen to me.
I don't want a pussyfoot.
What?
It's too bad that some black people is under here, but she got a good reason. She got a real good reason, but I was $1. I used to have locks. And the way I cover my locks was covered.
No, listen to me. What I am trying to tell you, listen to me. Hold on, back up. Turn it over this way. What I am trying to tell you is that this is the reason why we never get the evolutionary jump, because we focus on the mundane. That is not important. We just had 2 conversations that have nothing to do with our plight. Somebody's hair, somebody's goddamn fashion.
That's right, Bobby. That's right.
Understand the spirit of things. You understand the spirit of things. You got to understand the spirit aspect of stuff that's happening. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to say.
I believe white people operated too ways, Bobby. Like she's, like you said, you're more natural. I like to infiltrate. I've always been accepted by the white man. I put my contacts, I can go into office and get information you can.
There was $10.
Get information you can.
Yeah.
And that's what I wanted to find out.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
Another point of view
$10.
about it. I wanted to find that out.
That's why I wanted to, right.
Huh?
Look at that, that's Brother J.
Yeah, yeah. It's $10, yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Bobby. How many is going to remember what you have taught tonight? Ask them that. They doing all this damn talking. How many going to remember?
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
No, it does matter.
It's going into this camera. That's what the deal is. We documenting all of this.
Selling lemonade or something?
No.
Wearing pink.
Well, anyway, look. What time is it?
It's
8 o'clock. 8 o'clock, good. Yeah, 10. Like I said, you can get the Bobby Hemmings CDs, $10.
Bobby.
Look. Okay. Yeah. What is the brother? Where the other CD? You put it back?
No, son,
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Right. Then you got one. You gotta learn. I'll tell you why. I'm gonna have to stop. No. Wait a minute. Hold on. No. Look. We are the last time, and that's what happened.
I don't agree.
Government agent, focus. Government agent, focus.
I don't agree.
And that's what happened the last time. Okay, we are. No. Look, wait a minute. Hold on. No, sir. I have to stop. I'll tell you why. So you gotta learn that one. You gotta then deal. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Back. Hey, what the other CD you got? What is the brother? Yeah. Okay. Look. Yeah. $10. Bobby Hemmings CD. Like I said, you get 10. Yeah. 8 o'clock, good. 8 o'clock. Is it? Look, what time? Well, anyway.
Wearing lemonade or something?
And all of this. What the deal is, we just camera. That's what it's going in.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. But it doesn't matter.
How many going to remember all this damn talking that they do talk tonight? I want to remember what you have. How many is? Hey, Bobby.
Yeah. It's $10. Yeah. Yeah.
Look at that, Brother Giddy.
Right.
$10. Yeah.
And that's what I want to
Yeah. There was $10.
I've been accepted by the white people trade. I've always felt I like to, like you said, you're more narrated two ways, Bobby. Like I believe white people.
Trying to say, that's what I'm trying. You see what I'm saying? Happening. Of stuff that's in the spirit. You gotta understand the spirit of things. You understand the spirit. We are things. The spirit of things. Understand. Passion. The goddamn fast. Somebody's hands are plight. What I have nothing to do. That has had two conversations. We just not important. That is on the Monday because we evolutionary justice. Evolutionary justice. Because we on the Monday. That is not important. We just had two conversations that have nothing to do with our plight. Somebody's hands in the goddamn fashion. Understand the spirit of things. You understand the spirit of things. You got to understand the spirit aspect of stuff that's happening. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to say.
White people ways, Bobby. Like you said, you're more natural. I like to trade. I've always accepted by the white people. My contacts, I go into office and get information you can.
There was $10. Yeah.
That's what I wanted to find out.
Yeah. $10.
That's why I wanted to, right.
Look at that.
Yeah. It's $10. Yeah.
How many is going to remember what you have taught tonight? Ask them that. They do all this damn talking.
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Oh, it does matter.
It's going in the camera. That's what the deal is. We getting all of this.
Lemonade or something? Wearing.
Well, anyway, look. What time is it?
It's 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock, good. Yeah, 10. Like I said, you got him and see $10. Yeah. Look. Okay. Yeah. What is the brother? What the other CD you back? Okay, yeah. Right. And you got one. So you gotta learn. Tell you why. You have to stop. No. Wait a minute. Hold on. No. Listen. We are. You the last time. And that's what happened. Focus. Government agents had two conversations. They just focus. And that's what happened the last time. We are. No, listen. No, wait a minute, hold on. No, you have to stop and tell you why. That one. You got. And the. Yeah. Back. Never see the you. What is the brother? Yeah.
Same way.
Him and see, like I said, you 10. Yeah.
You got it, brother. You got it.
Anyway. It's going in there. It doesn't matter.
You missed the lecture.
I missed the lecture, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and why would they give a medication that would further break down your immune system? If you have an immunodeficiency syndrome, why would they give you something that's going to,
you know what I'm saying? You
make you even sick? Why wouldn't they do stuff like, I already know that, or somebody told me I have AIDS, or the first thing you do is put you on a bunch of drink.
What kind of spirit that girl got? You don't know what
your immune system.
You know what I'm saying?
And then they stay on that stuff for 6 months, they go back to the doctor,
that girl can break off $100,000. You never know, man.
Oh, that's how they tell the false positives.
Judging based on what we
It's a hoax, man.
That's it.
And I don't even, that was a bad scenario because you even go back to them and ask them for a test. These tests is
when it comes to conscience.
The Elijah test is like,
you know what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter.
Like,
like I go mean bros my CV, you can't right. You should, but I'm telling you, I'm dealing with the sound. I'm trying to uplift you. I got my own shit too, but my path was harder than yours. You know what I mean? You choosing the easy. You know what I'm saying? Let's go, baby. All right. Had a joy up, you know what I mean?
It ain't a matter of belief, like, man. It ain't a matter of belief. It's a matter of what's reality, man. Who gave all them diseases in the first place to the original black man?
Check this out.
No, answer that question. I'm talking to the brother right here now. Like all them diseases that, the wild-ass diseases they got going on right now.
Okay,
so European.
my knowledge, as far as my knowledge,
European, right?
We didn't have these.
Are they European diseases, man? Are they European diseases? From people living in caves having sex with animals.
From my knowledge,
we were just talking about it a while ago. I don't know. I can't say him not having but I would think so. All I was telling you, sister, was related that ancient science with them. If you know any history, the Indians was diluted with smallpox and the whole nine when they first came over here on the ship. Okay, that's documented in many books. Okay, now, hold on. Yeah, real game. All I'm doing is relating that to nowadays. See, a doctor is one who examines. You got doctors, ministers, nurses, and cremators. See, the nurse's job is to see that the doctor get that job done. Okay, I'm just going into little high science now. And the minister, that's the Pope of Rome, he's the one that signatured for it to be all right. Any disease that they have, that people be walking around with now, they give it to you in the hospital. That's what keeps the hospital going, economics. Once you get sick, the money is in the medicine, not in the cure. You understand? So they want to keep you coming back. Oh, let me take a little bit more of your blood, sir. He's now 942 degrees, blah, 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 blah. And you not being a doctor, you don't know these words, what this shit mean. Half of the stuff that's medicine that they give our people, they don't know what it is because they can't read. They don't know doctor, codes and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? It might be some shit that could blind you in the long run. Like they got this new drug out called what? Viagra. A drug to make your woody get hard for like 3 or 4 hours or whatever. But the side effect to that shit is that you see a whole blue circumference. What the hell could be in a pill that you take in your body to make your jammy get hard that make you see a blue vision coming outside? See, because now we got got to go into the metaphysical part of breathing air, inhaling and exhaling. You know what I'm saying? That's dealing with mind over matter. So we know everything that we breathe in, we breathe it out. So if you take a pill and put it in your body and you see everything blue, what is that doing to the transformation of the insides of your body? All I'm saying is, man, the crack has been a beast ever since day one. He's the greatest disease carrier on the planet, the greatest gambler on the planet, you understand? The greatest child molester, the greatest mind blower, the greatest head destroyer that ever was on the planet. Everything, all the horror that was caused on the planet is caused by him. All the medicine, the diseases, AIDS, whatever you want to call it, it's all called death. That's what it is. The science of that shit is death. It ain't even got no antidote to it. It ain't nothing to study about. See, once he's going up this planet, you gonna have a planet of people he gotta go from. But see, everybody talking about when, who, how, and all this other shit. But the solution to this whole shit is send him to the nearest exit. You understand? Because people come to you and say, well, yeah, somebody under the white man was created by Yaku. Or the white man was made because he left Africa and went into Europe and it was cold. How long they had black people in Europe? How long they had white people in Africa? Damn near 400 years now. South Africa, they ruling that shit. And none of them black. They all Caucasian. So you can't tell me that they turned black from some goddamn clown. I don't give a fuck if it was 1,000, 6,000, whatever. Alright? You can't tell me that either. No, never did black. I'm not trying to tell you nothing. I'm building. See, that's the science with English. I'm not trying to tell you. We're expressing ourselves right now. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, but I'm not trying to tell you because whatever you know, black man. I'm just building right now. So you take it in and you cross-reference it. I'm not saying that you sit up there and believe everything. You say we building, right? Yeah, but I'm saying. I'm just adding on to what you're saying. Yeah, you can add on, but don't say that. Don't put it in that form. But that's the way you use it. You say you can't tell. You said something. No, all right. So that's from an earlier conversation. Now you just said it. No, that was from an earlier conversation when we were talking about the medicine. You said it. You said you can't. You can rewind that tape 1,000 times. I'm not even concerned about the damn tape. So we building. So now it's infinite. So we building. I've been doing this before tapes. I understand. So we building. And what I'm saying, that I know what you're saying is I understand that someone can't tell you that white people became black from being in the sun. I understand that because... No, I was proving the fact by the because it is. Right. I understand what you're saying. Right. That's what I'm saying. And what I'm saying to that, another thing to add to that is because you never get black from white. You never see you can never get what? You never get black from white. I never seen a case. Oh, okay. Oh, so you're saying like a cracker producing an original man? I've never seen it. Of course they can. Of course they can. So I'm just building to what you're saying. But if you take a crack, any individual Caucasian, give a damn what his race is. You get a black woman, you plant that seed in that black woman, that baby is born. They can say what they want to say about it's all black. That baby's half white, half black. Now if you take that baby that's from that Caucasian seed, and then another Caucasian plant another seed in that baby, it'll get a little more light. That's the science of genetics. It will get lighter and lighter until that final baby will come out blonde hair, blue eyes. See what I'm saying? So the same way that we grafted him out, he can graft himself back in. This is why it's so dangerous for black people to be mixing with them, not knowing the science of the metaphysics and the high science of genetics. Because if you don't know how you mate, you fuck around and make devil. You see what I'm trying to tell you? And I mean real with this, like you see white couples, black couples walking around, and then even the Panthers said back in the 60s, they said, yeah, we're gonna fuck them to death. Because they were saying like if enough black men keep planting their seed in them, they're gonna make black babies. But that shit could be the opposite according to how the scientist is dealing with that shit. See, they take that light-skinned baby. Look at Adam Clayton Powell's son, the one that supposedly got caught for rape. I mean, just looking at him, if he came up 125th and Queen, no, he looked like a white boy. Right along. But his father was black. Adam Clayton Powell's great-great-grandfather was blacker than me. And now they got the junior, he's whiter than white. You know what I'm saying? So it can happen. That's right. Because we all people. A lot of brothers think, like in my nation, they say, oh, the black man can never be destroyed like that through mixing with the white. That's bullshit. According to how that science goes.
4 generations right now, black seed. You know what about a brother Mike?
Yeah, but I'm just throwing across the street. I'm talking about the running that I was able to do. I'm talking about steady sprint, 6 miles. 6 miles. The time, I mean, yo.
You want an adrenaline shot?
Huh? From the adrenaline shots that they used to give us in our private kit. You know what I'm saying? The adrenaline shots, they also was there. So if you were wounded, once they stabilized you with the IV, the adrenaline kept you from going to sleep, which is an effect of the opiate from the name, from the morphine. So once you start falling asleep, that's when you die. You know what I'm saying? But they give you the adrenaline to stay awake. But it's also used to keep you at grade in a hand-to-hand combat situation. You know, in a hand-to-hand combat situation. They give you pills, but the shot is there for you and it has a faster reaction. Straight into the bloodstream.
Even in the Caribbean, they dropped off large lots.
A lot of the shots that they gave
they say one African might have 2 tribes in him, or 2 or 3. Whereas in America, they dropped off small lots and they broke them up. So they say, shit, man, they started making us. We got 25 different Africans, but that's what create that jazz. That's alchemy. They talk about that in the Kabbalah, about the fusing in of the different tribes. You see what I'm saying? That's why the Jews is mad, because they know that they don't have a possessor history.
How you get rid of it?
Of no different tribes.
Poison. What the effect from the shot?
Yeah.
But eventually, you know, just practice.
Some food is raw food that I eat. Yeah. And the reason why I do that is because I'm listening to the changes that people talk about as far as the changes the planet's going through. And part of my motivation is, you know, because I want to be in balance with that change. I want to be in sync with that change. So I'm just like, anything you know about raw food, some food diet, and how, you know,
spiritually,
what you would say about
it will help you physically, your physical body, but spiritually, it ain't got, that shit don't matter what for damn. The Kundalini energy neutralizes and purifies everything. Now, I do know about the spirit realm, and I'm spiritual, and I'm in communication with the damn spirits, and I eat what the fuck I want. I don't eat pork, but I eat what the fuck I want. And I'm telling you, and I was a vegetarian for 6 years. Not spirit is not physical. Understand the difference. It don't matter. I was a vegetarian for 6 years. Then I got back on the meat. And guess what? I'm more spiritual than what I was 6 years ago. It doesn't matter. Now, your health, that's another thing. This is the great mystery to the health thing. It ain't what you eat, it's how you eliminate. That's the mystery. You see, Anubis is the guide dog of the souls. Anubis in Egypt. His name is also called Anu or Anus. Anus. It's not what you eat, it's how you eliminate.
So you mean that it's important?
You see Sebastian? In your body, even vegetables.
It's important.
Because half that shit is cloned now. You doing raw food, half that shit is manufactured, it's cloned now.
That's a good point.
They ain't had no real food in this country in 10 fucking years. All that shit is manufactured. Even that organic shit.
So it don't matter what you eat.
It's how you eliminate. Because if you're a vegetarian, if you don't eliminate good, it's still packed up shit. Feces is feces. You see what I'm saying? It's how you eliminate. That's the mission.
What effect does it have on your spirituality? None?
What?
That's what he just said. He said no.
It doesn't matter. Your melanin, you have everything in your body that's in the entire universe.
Okay, so how does that
it's inside of the melanin. Huh?
I'm probably eating a lot of raw foods, a lot of chlorophyll-rich foods. How does that help my melanin?
It helps your health. But as far as spiritual,
how does it affect my melanin? Is it feeding my melanin? Is that good for it?
It's just food. The food is made to nourish the physical body. Melanin is a pre-physical substance. Melanin works for putrefaction. Melanin works with putrefaction.
they say, I've been studying, actually I hear you say Colonial a lot.
Right.